that's how it is, 'cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision,
You don't need to
can't you
like
see? I'm on the
record
Yeah,
since
move,
I'm
make
going
yeah.
on this.
way for me. Stand up
What do you say?
for
You
the
want to?
champions, for the champions.
Oh, record since I'm
Champions, for the champions, stand up for the champions, for the champions, stand up,
people this is
stand up,
working.
stand up
Why did you talk
for
people?
the champions,
Okay, YouTube. Okay, so I can't check this because it's gonna run bad. It's gonna like
Oh, whatever you're saying.
the person checking YouTube should not. Okay, I can use my phone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
person
when
checking
I
YouTube
fall
should not
down.
be on this call. I'll just go like.
To pick myself back up, and when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up, and when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up, and when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions, stand up for the champions, for the champions, stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions, 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 stand up.
Introducing cold specialty subs from Firehouse Subs. They're delicious and packed with layers of flavor. Now buy any sub and get 50% off any cold specialty sub. Only at Firehouse Subs. Tap the banner now to start your order. Select U.S. markets.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is, 'cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, It's just life, that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. 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 Stand up.
If I told you that there was a
Um, okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, good afternoon, ma.
Yeah, sorry, it's morning over here. Yeah, so I welcome you all to today's event. And I'm so impressed. Yeah, this is 10:04 and we have over 60 people who have joined this. And this is impressive. Yeah, keep it up. So this shows that you're so intentional about your growth, about your future, about what you want to do. And I wish you all the very best. And this is the way to go, actually. Just be intentional and then work towards it. Sorry. So, and it's going to be the best for everyone. Yeah, so without further ado, so let's just go deep. Let's go straight into the session. Yeah, so we commit this in the this event or this webinar into the Lord's hands, and the Lord will take control, and you all will receive the very best in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, thank you. So picture perfect, yes. And we are yet to like paint a realistic path to winning global scholarship opportunities for grad school. I believe everyone who is here is interested in grad school opportunities. So I want you to have your pen, your paper, everything that you need, writing materials generally, and just be prepared to get the very best. I assure you that my speakers are here, and they are also like interested. They are also interested in giving you the best. So just stay there, hang in there, and hope for the best. So we have a moderator. So our moderator for this event is Goshen. Yeah, Goshen just defended his master's thesis yesterday. Yeah, and that was exciting. Congratulations. And he's a fully funded, doctoral student at the University of North Dakota. I know someone will be asking me, oh, he was in the UK yesterday. He's also, a fully funded doctoral student in North Dakota. Yeah, so, well, anyways, leave it to us. And he holds a bachelor's in biochemistry from Caleb University in Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, he was awarded the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship in 2022 to study for a master's in biotechnology at the University of Nottingham, UK. So his research interests are expensive. As you all know, Goshen is all there for research, encompassing, he likes collaborating and all that. So encompassing host pathogen viral interactions, One Health, and autoimmune and infectious disease. And at Nottingham, he studied the manipulation of cell factories for drug delivery, employing, the high throughput technologies. His active collaborations have earned him 20 research publications in peer-reviewed journals. In 2021, he received the iScholar, that's the iScholar Initiative, and also the Education USA Membership Award. He's passionate about helping others grow and, serve as a triple ambassador, the international student, the library, and the unibody at the University of Nottingham, UK, beyond the lab. Yeah, he likes extracurricular activities, and that is what I want you guys to inculcate, because despite the fact that, yes, you're interested in grad school, you want to start pushing for this opportunity and all that, you also need to engage in activities, outside your interests, like volunteering, leadership, because those are the things you add to your CV. Some of those, I recently applied for an award, and they were like, okay, list all the volunteering activities you've been engaged in, something like that. So it is very important that you engage in those activities, and those are the things we'll be talking about today. So Goshen is a man of many talents and interests. He is an avid musician too, with artistry in piano and drums and a connoisseur of fine cuisine. So I welcome Goshen as he take over, and I know he's also prepared to do a very good job today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Scholar Mercy. I mean, that was like a very honored introduction session for me. Thank you very much for having me in the session. Yeah, I'm Goshen, and I hope to enjoy this session as well as you guys have attended. It promises to be very, very entertaining, not just educative, but also entertaining as well. And so, like, without further ado, like, I would like to, call on the first speaker to come, give like a perfect picture of, everything grad school basically. And one thing I want you guys to note is as the speakers talk, you can do well to note your questions, drop them in the chat, and so that like when it comes for question and answer session, you could always, ask them directly or ask to be unmuted and you could ask your questions or in the house for you, whichever way works for you. So our first speaker is Benjamin Joshua. Benjamin Joshua is a multiple award scholar. He's currently in Germany as an Erasmus Mundus scholar. Erasmus Mundus is one of the popular scholarship you could name, to study in Germany. It's a very prestigious one. So he's currently in Germany, and his research interest basically is around the area of genetic mechanisms that controls gene expressions. He serves as mentor and coach to like young minds who want to, progress, in their career in the future. He believes in God, so he believes in the uniqueness of purpose. He's very energetic. He believes in the power of mentorship, which is very, very key because having a mentor, saves like time to, as to what we take like a number of times to accomplish. So, which is very good. Like I said, he believes in the supremacy of God. So over to you, Benjamin. Without much further ado, can you like come on the stage and share your experience basically on how to be successful in grad school journey? I don't know if Joshua is on the call. If Benjamin Joshua
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on
yeah.
the call.
Oh, nice to have you, Benjamin. Yeah, you have the floor.
All right, thank you so much. It's nice to be here. Thank you so much, Ms. Messi, for the invitation. It's a great honor to be part of this initiative and to give the best of my knowledge to helping others to getting their dreams, into reality. So today will be talking about basically European scholarships, right? Because I'm based here in Europe, and so it's I think I'm more inclined to having some robust knowledge about um, the kind of scholarships that are available for intending graduate students, and basically how to go about them. I'm sure that everybody has access to the internet space, so sometimes it's not really a big deal for you to get the information. It's usually just about you knowing what it takes to actually get the scholarship. So information is out there on the internet space. So first and foremost, I will talk about Europe. Europe generally is it's a great place to be, and there are a lot of opportunities for masters, PhDs, prospective students, and the processes towards getting these opportunities is really not so difficult, but yeah, it could be a little bit tricky and a little bit maybe confusing, but it's quite straightforward. And so first and foremost, I would just want to introduce you guys to the various kind of scholarships that we have. Yes, as my very wonderful moderator said, I'm privileged by God to be an Erasmus scholar. And so the first scholarship I'm going to mention is Erasmus. I mean, I have to prioritize the scholarship that I'm currently enjoying. So Erasmus Mundus is, everybody knows the name. It, as the moderator said, is a very popular common scholarship. And basically, there are different Erasmus programs. There are different programs, master's programs funded by Erasmus. I think at the moment, if I could share my screen, is that possible?
Yes, you can.
Okay, give me a moment, please. I just want to show you the Erasmus catalog and how many scholarships or how many programs we have at the moment. So let me try right now. Just give me a moment. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm sure you can see my screen, right?
Um,
Yes, you can see my screen right now. So right here, we have Erasmus Mundus catalog, which contains the list of different programs under the Erasmus Mundus scholarship that you can, apply for. We have 193 programs. Amazing. So you have a robust pool of options to, pick your master's program of choice, right? And yeah, you have so many. You have tourism, you have technology, you have engineering, you have medicine, you have AI, you have environmental science, sustainability, climate change, cybersecurity, law. I mean, it cut
um,
across all fields, right? It cut across.
Hi, Benjamin. Sorry, we cannot
Yeah.
see your screen. Or do I
Could you,
have?
could you
You cannot see
reshare?
my screen.
Yeah. Could
You
you
have to
reshare?
change the settings from the previous person to his.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
stop sharing.
I will stop mine now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, go ahead to share, please. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. All right. My apologies. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's popping
Yeah.
up now. Good.
Perfecto. All right. So first I said that right here we have 193 programs that are under the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship Initiative. So you have a robust pool of options, tourism, technology, on and on and on. And so you have the opportunity of, applying for, I think, up to 3 programs. Although I think last year I got to know that you could apply for more, but usually, I mean, don't be so greedy. Come on, just apply for maybe 2 or 3 specific ones that fits your current profile, right? All right. So specificity is very important when you're applying for scholarship. And I'm sure other speakers will really hammer on that. All right, so you have a lot of options to pick from. So you can just pick 1 or 2 or 3 specific to your current profile and then go ahead to apply. Now, all these programs differ in their method of application. For example, for my program, I had to just, make the application consisting of my different essays. Sometimes Erasmus tends to request that you write um, uh, uh, a motivation essay in quote. I don't want to call it motivation essay because sometimes Erasmus kind of essay is not really much of motivation, but they really want to see that you are research oriented. So please take note of this. For you guys who are intending to apply for Erasmus, note Erasmus is research oriented, research intensive. If you are the guy who is more of, community service, trying to make the world a better place by just, doing 1 or 2 things that does not really relate to science, like community development and all this stuff, Erasmus really doesn't need you, okay? But if you're the kind of person that just loves research, you're curious, you want to find answers to questions, you want to kind of solve problems that has to do with science issues, right? Or that has to do with, okay, this is what is going on in the world. How do we solve it using methodologies, using hypotheses, using, just research questions? Erasmus is research oriented. So please take note of that. And so to apply for Erasmus program, you need to go to each of the programs, like their personal website. You can see I'm pointing my cursor to where you can find their website. This is always directly under the name. All right. So if I just click, for example, if I click on EMJM in global forestry, if I just click on the link just below the title, you can see I'm already in the website, right? So that's how you just get access to the website. Now, it is important for you to know that Erasmus Mundus is special. Why? I'm proud to say you get 2 masters, right? Usually, Erasmus Mundus is a kind of master, they call it joint masters, right? That's why you see most of the names is joint masters, joint master, blah, blah, blah. It's because you get a double degree. You get 1 degree from 1 university, you get a 2nd degree from the 2nd university. You might have to go to much more than 2 universities because Erasmus is a consortium. Erasmus Mundus scholarship is all about the consortium. A consortium is like, okay, a group of universities coming together to, to support a master's program almost having similar curriculum, but with one aim. All right. So for example, this EMJM in global forestry, you can see the project locations: Denmark, Italy, Germany, Czech, France. So this is what we call mobility. So you have the opportunity to go to two or more of these countries, not all really, but two or more of these countries, and do your master. So you do your first year in maybe Denmark, and then you go to do your second year, maybe Germany. Depends on what you choose during your application. Now, another interesting fact, I think I mentioned two nice facts about Erasmus. Another interesting fact about Erasmus is that you have the opportunity to do your master's thesis anywhere in the world. You can come to Africa, you can go to the United States, you can go to Asia, and much more easily, you can just go anywhere in Europe. Europe is interconnected, so you can just travel by train, by flight, by car, by bus, anywhere, and do your master's thesis, all right, in any country of your choice. So you're not limited, you're traveling, you're exploring different things. It's such a beauty, sincerely. I would advise you to apply, So that's the amazing thing about Erasmus. You end up, going from country to country. All right, so now I just want to just tell you, when it comes to the application itself, it's program specific. I cannot exactly tell you, okay, this is how it's done. No. It's usually program specific, so you have to explore and exploit that yourself. But generally, it's still the same thing. Your CV, your motivation letter, or essays. Some programs their application is such a way that you have to answer a few questions in an essay format. All right. So you need your recommendation letters, which are really, really important. And usually some Erasmus program try to make you have an understanding of how they grade your application, how your application is scored. Okay, motivation letter is 20%. Your transcript, which is actually the biggest deal for Erasmus. Please, another thing you need to note: the biggest deal for Erasmus is your transcript. Yeah, if you have a 2-1, you can still actually get Erasmus if you can really, provide some kind of extra proof that you have what it takes. But usually they prioritize the transcript, the grades, and they can allocate 60% to the grades, and the recommendation letter might be just 10%, and other things like CV, whatever, might be an extra 10%, and then you have 100%. And usually, if you end up getting selected, you are likely among those that have 95% and above. That's how competitive Erasmus is. So quickly, because I have, I think, a few minutes to quickly touch this and get it done, I would just want to share with you other scholarships that are available. For example, let me share my screen again. Sorry, I have so many windows opened. I'm sure Messi understands what that means. You're just walking here and there. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again to show you. Please give me a moment to show you other scholarships that are available that you could apply for. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, I'm not so used to Zoom. All right, so can you see the next stuff on my screen? What does it read? We have the VL IROS scholarship. Can you see that, please?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. So this scholarship is for those guys in Belgium. I mean, if you're applying to some schools like Ghent University, like KU Leuven University in Belgium, this is a nice scholarship for you to target. And usually it's awarded to students coming from Africa, Asia, and Latin America. So they don't give any of the scholarship to any European or to any Central American. Those of you guys in the US, no, you're not qualified for this. Majorly Africa, Asia, so more or less like the developing countries. So that's another interesting scholarship to apply for. And you can see on this website, I'm scrolling through, there are many, not many, but a few programs that are qualified for this scholarship. Quite a number of them are agri-related. You can see aquaculture, master of aquaculture, master of agro and environmental nematology. And then we have some other ones like Master of Science for Rural Development. And then you go up, you see Master of Governance and Development, you see Master of Globalization, and then you see Master of Cultural Anthropology, Master of Evaluation, just a few masters that are available under this scholarship initiative. Master of Epidemiology, Marine and Lacustrine Science and Management, just a few actually. So you can explore this opportunity as well. And then we have, I'll just give you a brief insight to this VLEOS scholarship. It's really robust. I mean, for those of you guys who are interested in the money, everybody's interested in the money. So you can see that the content of the scholarship, you're paid 1,150 euros per month, you have travel costs. It's really a big scholarship. It's really not common, but it's huge. Unfortunately, my friends, Nigeria is not among the eligible countries because in the past years, there have been issues with Nigerian applicants being a little bit false in their details. And I think Nigeria got edited out of countries that are eligible to apply. So sorry, but for those of you guys from other countries in Africa or Latin America or Asia, you are well qualified. And then we have another one, DAD, just like what it sounds like, daddy. DAD scholarship in Germany. It's a great scholarship way to apply. It's a little bit complicated because one of the major things that really scares people away from DAD is the fact that they need you to have 2 years work experience before you apply. Pretty tricky, but it's possible to apply and get it. The funding is not so robust, but it's a good deal for you if you really love Germany, as I do. Another scholarship you can see here I'm showing you is the Orange Knowledge Scholarship Program, which is in the Netherlands. It's also a little bit tricky to apply for this scholarship. Usually you are nominated by the university. So you make an admission, like you make an application to the university for admission, and then the university nominates you to apply for the scholarship. Then you apply for the scholarship, and then if you're nominated for the scholarship, you are awarded, fine. So it's quite a longer process. And then we have another one in the Wageningen in Netherlands is the Africa Scholarship Program, which is for me one of the best scholarship programs you could have in Europe. Really amazing, only for Africans. What a beauty, only for Africans, but very competitive. I think they select just, I don't know how many, but very few. But it's a privilege for me to have the fact that quite a number of mentees have actually won this. And I had the privilege of winning something similar to this in this university. Then we have the Excellence Scholarship in Switzerland. Such an amazing scholarship as well that you can explore if you want to come to the Netherlands. Basically simple and straightforward and quite robust. So I can keep on mentioning a few more, but I mean, it's not so much, but yeah, some universities have specific scholarship within their reach, like university-based scholarship, not so robust in terms of the financial, the financial benefits, but also something nice to apply for. Now, before I wrap up my session, I just want you to understand that coming to Europe is a little bit not so difficult, but usually because Europe generally is not an English-speaking continent, except countries like Netherlands and Austria. Usually you should be ready to adapt to an environment that speaks a completely different language. So if you really want to come to Europe, be ready for that. If you love learning languages, oh my goodness, welcome to Europe. You'll really thrive well. And it's a great place because, as I said, it's interconnected. So you can go from country to country just by road, by bus, few hours, you're in another country with a different culture, and it's a great experience. So the last few words I'll say is to apply for a scholarship in Europe, you just have to know the scholarship you're applying for, know the requirements, which are simply basic and something you can find out online, and then get people, mentors to really guide you, because as I said, it's so competitive that you need people who have gone through that path to tell you, okay, this is how to construct your story. This is what you should say. This is what they want to hear, and so on and so forth. And then for sure, I will look forward to welcoming you in Europe. Thank you so much. It's a great honor to have shared my little insight on this wonderful platform. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. That was like really, really informative and so much powerful. One of the major aims of like this program or this webinar basically is to let people know that there are endless opportunities out there, and you've just done justice to show like there are really a lot of scholarships out there, and first step is actually to know these scholarships and then try to fit into the eligibility criteria and then apply. So it's when you mentioned about Erasmus, having double master and everything, I felt like, oh yeah, that's true. But as a Commonwealth scholar too, you want to also promote your own scholarship and be like, okay, yeah, this is amazing. But yeah, so as you can see, like there are lots of opportunities out there, not just Commonwealth, not just Shimin, not just Erasmus, a lot of scholarships out there that are available to Nigerians, Africans in general. And one thing and I like about these speakers we have here is the robustness in the diverse kind of scholarship we've applied for. For example, our next speaker that will be coming up is currently a PhD scholar. So for people that want to the direct path from the grad to PhD, you don't want to do a master's, you don't want to get double masters, you don't want to get a single master, you just want to go straight to the PhD and just want to start doing research. So like this would be like a good session for you to pay attention to and put your questions down so that like when the speaker is done, you always ask them. So yeah, our next speaker is my boss. So I know Emmanuel, but I don't know if he remembers me though. There was one time I went for my interview at the embassy, for the education OSP scholarship, and I met him, and he was one of the people that actually guided me and told me like, this is what is to be expected, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So he's really resourceful. He's a second-year PhD student in Purdue University. Purdue University, very very great school in biomedical science. So like it's one of the big schools out there, and his research focuses on GTP and GTP-CH1, basically for potential drug development. He has a bachelor's degree in Adekunle University and has a master's from University of Lagos. He is a beneficiary of the Education USA OFP funds in 2020 and has secured like his doctoral scholarship at Purdue University. Basically, he has 8 research articles, which is very very impressive, and in peer-reviewed journals. And over the past 3 years, he has mentored several candidates, mentees on the grad school path to fully funded doctoral scholarship in the state. He is the president. He's the president of the Nigerian Student Association at Purdue University, and recently he was awarded Purdue Steps to Lead Student of the Year in 2023 due to his noteworthy dedication and impact. He loves traveling, cooking, and playing soccer video games in his little time. It's my pleasure to welcome you, boss. I don't know if you remember me, though, but yeah, it's nice to have you here, boss.
We remember you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it does, because I remember I've interacted with him once on WhatsApp or twice.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is wow.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh my goodness. I really, as you're talking now is when I actually remembered, like, my God. It's all right. It's been a long time. So I'm trying to, this is not the screen I intend to share.
Oh, okay. Let me stop sharing.
Not even. I don't think it's about you. So let me stop sharing. So I actually, like you said, I was actually on the road for like 8 hours yesterday. So I just arrived this like 2 a.m. this morning. So I'm trying. I didn't come with my laptop, so I'm trying to use my friend's laptop. Apologies.
You're looking so good, by the way. Looking so.
I guess. She says, "Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that." Just a sec, please. I can see what I want to share, but I don't know why it's not sharing. Okay, let me see. What can you guys see?
Yeah. Emmanuel has started sharing.
But not my presentation, right?
Not yet.
No.
Yep. So that's the problem. Just give me. I have to stop sharing this and then give me a sec. Let me figure it out. I have it. I can see what I want to share, but I don't know why it's not showing me. So I probably would do close this and maybe now I should be able to show. So how about now?
Yes, yes.
All right, great.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Goshen, for that warm introduction. I really I can't remember specifically the encounter, but I know that was in 2021, I guess. I did like prepare a lot of people for education university. Thanks. And I'm so glad. Congratulations on your master's.
Yes, it depended yesterday.
And welcome to the US. I know you've been around, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I've
So
been.
He has been going back and forth.
my God,
Big
that's a lot.
man.
That's a lot. All right. Let me just track back. Okay. Thank you so much, Mercy, for this opportunity to speak. And I'll try as much as possible to be fast. And I really hope that this session is going to be of help to you. So I don't know how best to tag my session. I just call it navigating grad school application process. So this is like I've done a couple of presentations like last 2 weeks. So I had to just mix up some of my slides together, and I believe it's going to be of help. So I have some headlines for today. I want to talk about secrets to successful application. I'll also be talking about how you should construct your SOP. Not like I'm not going to do any serious sample critique, but I'll show you some critique as I go on with it too. I'll also show you, now searching for schools specifically here, it's for the United States, right, on how to format of writing a code email. For those who, code emails apply to either US or whichever place you're sending email to the professor. Okay, so I begin with like the secrets to a successful application. One of the key things that I'll be talking about is actually schools and program selection. You want to select the right program for you. Some people don't get admission not because they're not good, but they just don't select the best fit program, and that makes it difficult. I know you have to start early. You should have your academic resume. I'm going to brush through this fast. Then the part you see highlighted red are the part I'm going to be talking into in details as I progress in this presentation. Letters of recommendations. That's not part of what I'm covering, but it's very important for your successful application. Transcript, standardized tests, just depending on your program, and then code email. So like I said, where I highlighted the reds are the things I'm talking about. Okay, so first thing first, what is your background? So like sincere. So some of the things I will advise that you, if you can later on, answer these questions as sincere as possible before you begin your application, and it's going to really help you. What's your background? What field are you in? Is it chemistry, biology? Permit me, I'm probably going to be citing a lot of STEM because that's the one I can get on in my head right now. What's your program or research of interest? What exactly are you really interested in? If I wake you up this morning, what are you going to really be interested in pursuing? Because it takes a lot of interest intrinsically for you to succeed in any program you're doing. Okay. What are the requirements? You have to be very sincere. What are the requirements of this program? Do I have it? Don't just try and do it. Don't just gloss over it. Like, what are the requirements? And then check what you have, see what you don't have, and see how you can augment that. Is there any financial aid available, or do you have money? If you don't care about the money, you're rich, then you don't have to worry about it. But for me, I want to know what financial aid is available for this program that I'm looking into. For your information, I'm really a little bit tweeted towards the United States, and I think some of these informations too will apply to every other applications and Canada and any other places. So when are the application deadline? You need to know all these things. Make a table, an Excel format or in a Word format. Have it in your front, and then work with it. You don't want to submit. Consider the time difference when I'm talking about deadlines, because you're not in the same time zones in some places. And even in the United States, we are not also in the same time zone across states. So you want to be sure the school you're applying to, what time is the deadline really over there? And then what are your choices of school? What schools do you want to apply into? you want to be very diverse and not just streamlined down to just one school. Oh, because Mr. Emmanuel is in Purdue, I just want to go to Purdue. Or Mr. Messi, they call her, is in West Virginia. Oh, I want to go to. There's tons of schools in the United States that you can choose from. Okay, so yeah, basically I'm trying to show how to select. If time permits me, I can come back to this slide and just show you how to like really, but these are like a very good website to navigate for your selection. First thing I'll say is you have to make Google your friend, man. There's a lot of information online. PTC in grad school, Princeton Review, the US News, and then 4ICU. I use 4ICU basically if you want to search through the states, different states, you want to know schools. I remember when I was studying, then I had some state I had in mind. I want to apply to like the first 4 schools on those on their ranking. I mean, that should be a good option for me. Just depend on you. You can navigate through some of these websites and searching for schools. And this is really very important. Your selection. Anytime when I'm coaching anyone for grad school, the first thing I want to see is what are your schools options and your CV. I want to look at what you have and the schools you are aiming for, how fitting these are, because trust me, it's you want to increase your chances as much as possible. Okay, so you don't want to be applying to in quotes. It's good to be ambitious, but at the same time, I say this, but also be very realistic. The most important thing is you getting your degree. I mean, outside of your home country or so, I'll say, and it doesn't really matter at times the name of the school. Is really matter what you do and then where you find yourself. Okay, so now I'm going straight to the call of the presentation, writing an award-winning SOP. That's what I call it. So award, it could be any award. This also applies to any other scholarship aside the United States application, I would say. Okay, you can see a whole lot of people. That is how, like that, so many people that are really applying. Can you see that? You really want to get into Harvard, they really want to get into Yale, they really want to get into Purdue, everyone want to get into same school. So telling you, scholarship is not a bread and butter stuff. It's a lot of people are hiring for the same thing. So you have to sit tight. You just don't want to wake up, oh, I have a deadline tomorrow, can I submit? It doesn't work that way. Personally, I don't respond to those kind of requests because I want to do something, do a good job, a thorough job. You shouldn't just wake up today and say, well, I'm submitting an application tomorrow. It's, my friend says that applications are designed in such a way that you should not finish it. So trust me, you need a lot of internal strength to even complete an application. There's so much information you have to keep putting out there. So first, edit aggressively, be ready to write and rewrite. If you're going to write an effective essay, be ready to write and keep rewriting, right? So that's why, as mentioned by the former speaker, Benjamin, you need mentors, okay? I can count the number of times I edited and had my SOP review. I say this and I'll say it again. If you read your SOP and you cannot give yourself admission and you're not excited, trust me, don't expect anything different technically from the reviewers, okay? Even so, when you read your own statement of purpose and maybe you read it out to yourself and you're not impressed, trust me, I don't know what to say. Okay, so one paragraph, one idea. Keep your thoughts concise. I've read a lot of, you don't muddle up your ideas and your thoughts in just one paragraph. It's supposed to be a story that everyone can understand the progression from the beginning to the end. The logic must make sense. Okay, one paragraph, one idea. I'm going to get into the details as I go into transition smoothly. Okay, I mean, if the transition in some SOP, there's some SOP that they are very disjointed, right? You just see, oh my God, you read the first paragraph and then you read the next paragraph. You can't connect, like what's going on, okay? It can't flow. So I just said some words, furthermore, addition, also, however. I mean, those transition words are really cool and it makes SOP flows pretty well. Oh, you get, keep it short and sweet. Don't write, I read some 3 lines or 4 lines, just trying to make a statement. You get lost. Trust me. Keep it simple, sweet, short. Don't be afraid to use your full stop. Don't try to, you know what I'm trying to say. You will know if you read some of these things. Be persuasive, okay? Don't try to be, you're not begging. You want to put yourself up there. Okay, like don't say, oh, because I finished from one college in one small city in my country, I don't. No. I mean, you want to put yourself up there, okay? And don't repeat the same information that you already. I'm still learning this because I'm telling you, if you've passed this information in this place, move on. Like, especially if you don't need your CGPA on your SOP. Permit me to say, it's clearly on your transcript. It's probably clearly on the CV at some point. Some things, if you've mentioned some awards in your CV or wherever it is, if you want to show it in your SOP, you want to describe it in a manner that is to show the effectiveness and not like you trying to mention the same information. All right. And then submit for proofread and review. Okay. Don't be ready for to take corrections, and so you can get better. All right. So just a brief flow, consult, and that's what you're doing right now. You're making consultation, do your personal consultation, prepare. Preparation is key. Trust me, prepare. I mean, if you're planning to resume next year, it's I mean, it's not too late to start preparing, but if you don't get too late if it's if again towards the end of the year. All right, preparation is very key. Then write. Okay, see the guy is writing. Keep writing. I mean, when I was preparing for my SOP, I don't use these notes, so I use my notepad. Any idea that comes to you as you're thinking, put it down, put it on. And in the end, when you bring everything together, you will see how much progress you've made. Okay, don't just wait. It's a flow, and when it comes, just flow. Okay, all right, and edit. Keep editing and keep editing. Okay. So who are you? I mean, that's what your SOP is supposed to. Statement of purpose or personal statement, whichever one. Who are you? And so your statement of purpose should sorry, let me take off something of my screen. Okay. Your statement of purpose should give an explicit description of your interest. Can you see my screen? Your experience, your career goals to the admission committee. All these things have to be. So I'm reading yours. If you have to capture what are you interested in doing? What's your experience? And how does these things connect? Right. So that's what the SOP has to really cover. And I tell you this, what does the reviewer want? See them, the sitting. And let me say this, the reviewers, they read your SOP. Don't think, oh, they actually read it. How they read it, you might not know, but they do read it. They might not read it. Because I remember I had an interview with a professor, and during one of my grad school interview, and she mentioned specifically that, that your statement of purpose really stood out. Like, said, well, I mean, she was part of that meeting committee, and she was on my interview. She was part of my interviewer, and like, oh, this guy really checked what he put out there. Okay, clear motivation. They want to see clear motivation. They want to see your qualifications and interest, your personal goals, and how you're best match for their program. It's like a job application, right? You don't want to give your job to someone who really can do it. All right. So I say this, if you can answer these questions right now, wherever you are, you can type it in your chat box, or you can write it down. What are your motivations? What is your motivation? What is my motivation? Why exactly do I want to do this? Why? Like, you have to have an answer to that, because it could be attributed to past experience or future career interest. It could be whichever way. You could think backward or think forward. What is my interest? Oh, I study biology, but what do I really like? Oh, maybe genetics. Oh, I like anything gene. Okay, genetics. Then I'm beginning to think, okay, or maybe it's disease stuff. Oh, I like something drug discovery. Okay, I think I like biotechnology. I'm really interested in bio. Okay, now it's biotech. What type of biotech? There's so much application of biotechnology, right? What are my experiences? Write it out. I hear people say, there's nothing like just. What do you have? Like, oh, okay, I had 4 years of undergrad or 5 years of undergrad, depending on your program. Okay, oh, I did this research class that we were going to the lab, we're doing this. What did I learn? Write them out. Write them out as key. And so I said, what are your academic, research, and teaching? Have you taught before? What are the teaching experience you have? Maybe, oh, I used to do small tutorials somewhere. It's not just every experience you have counts and it matters, no matter how small it is, right? And then what are your professional experiences? Oh, I took up this leadership stuff, all these things, if they don't directly apply to your research, they will apply to your intrinsic ability or soft skills to survive in grad school. Because it's not just all about what you can do, it's also about how you can also do it. Like you've done some collaborative stuff, that's a soft skill. Okay, you volunteer somewhere, that's something applicable, right? You know something to say. And if you have worked before, oh, you had internship, every of those things, write them out, bullet them, and then put down what you did in each of them. These things will be of help by the time you start writing your SOP. I can tell you that for sure. What are the skills? Under each of these things, what did you learn? What skills? Write it out. What skills? Okay, again, I did a research project. Okay, what skills did I really learn? What academic skills did I learn? What soft skills did I learn? Oh, were you the leader in your team? That's leadership. Everything you want to write out, and then you will now begin to match them together using words. Okay, what are my accomplishments? It's not accomplishment is small, right? What are words? These are proof. Oh, you have publications, that's accomplishment. Oh, it's just, don't say it's just one publication. It's not just one. Oh, you presented in a conference or in a seminar and you had like the best seminar presentation in your small classroom. It's an accomplishment. What that shows, it shows your good communication skills. It shows your, everything matters, okay? It just depends on how you're able to present it professionally. All right. I just hope this is helping someone. What will this degree do for me? Like, oh, okay, do you want to be a doctor afterwards, or do you want to do your future goals? You have to, I would say you don't have to have a clear answer to this one, because trust me, a lot of people, if you interview them right now, their trajectory changes along the road, but at least you have something in mind, in view, okay? And then why exactly am I applying to this program? What do this school have that I'm interested in? What did this program have that I'm really interested in? How do I fit in? That's very important. And why am I the most suitable candidate? Oh, you want to, a little bit hype yourself. Why do you think they should select you, right? If you can answer all these questions, I can tell you that you're ready to go to write your statement of purpose. So I'll quickly go into what each paragraph okay, so if I said it's just, let's see what each paragraph contain technically, and then I'll show you just a sample of an SOP that captures everything that I'll be sharing in a couple of minutes. All right, paragraph 1, your introduction and motivation. Like I said, so if you have answered those questions, you can write your paragraph 1. And trust me, like I said, your first draft might not be perfect, right? You keep having many drafts. So a concise connect of your interests, connect with your future. You just want to consider, let me just put it, yeah. You want to consider a very intriguing, captivating start of your essay, like how, like they say, this first appearance or something last, I guess. You want to have just merely looking at your first SOP in the first 10 seconds, it should grip the reviewers to stay glued to it. Okay. So, and don't be vague, right? Technically discuss your interests, you can connect it to your class you've taken before, you can connect it to an experience you had, you can connect it to, so there are always two ways. You can either connect your motivation to something in the past or your motivation to something in the future. All right. And if you can establish it, and then just a little bit of introducing, balancing yourself, and then you're good to go. Okay, and then the next paragraph, your next paragraph is validating everything you set up there. Because so I always see this, your first paragraph and your last paragraph. So I say this, if I read your first paragraph and I jump into the last paragraph, I should be able to know what is inside, in between rather. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just like when you pick up a paper, you read the abstract, you read the conclusion. It's like, oh, I think I know what they're doing. I should know what to expect in the whole paper, and that's how I actually see my statement of purpose, because they don't have all the time. Once I read the beginning of your SOP, I saw the interest and the motivation, and then I go to the last, I can see the future and everything. They connect, they sync into one sentence, and this makes sense. And so the second paragraph will be a following up statement. It's an academic survey. Your second, third, the in-between paragraph, that might probably be the best word to say it. Talk about your academic interest and personal achievements, right? Support evidence to opening paragraph. That's what it does. And what have you done relevant to this choice of program? What have you done? Oh, I did an internship. And notice, if you're talking internship in one part, just keep it that, and then that's pretty simple one, just concise. And then a paragraph 3. So at time, this paragraph 3 could break into multiple paragraphs, right? You just want to follow up with your relevant experiences. If you have answered those questions that I said earlier, you will see that writing your SOP will be very easy. Your background and professional experiences, you've answered them, and then you begin to put them in words. Okay. Highlight all the experience I said is, and this is how I say approach this using the STAR method. Situation. So when you're thinking of writing your experience, what is the situation? What is this task? What did I do? What was the result? Put it in this way, and then you see that your writing stuff is going to really, really, really improve. And trust me, you won't get it right the first time, the second time, but just stay there. Okay, so I move to fourth paragraph. Why should you be accepted? So, like I said, once you've established your motivation and you've backed it up with subsequent paragraphs showing your, what do you call it now? Showing your experiences. Now you want to talk about why you should be accepted. And this is really about like connecting, why you're an ideal candidate for the program. Okay. Why is XYZ ID program for you? Mention, so here you want to mention names of professors, you want to reiterate your interest. Oh, the school have these, and then this will enable you to conduct this kind of research, you just want to say something around that. Oh, you found this professor A, B, and D, who is working on these, and then I'll, in his work really aligned. Or maybe they have a research center that is really renowned, and that is like a good place for you to really conduct to fulfill your interest. And or maybe they have something specific in their program that is not research wise, but will help you to, prepare you to selecting a right future, a right future career. You just want to highlight out what the school has, because and how it aligns with what you want. So it really shows that you have done a good homework, okay? And you're not just coming to just dump something in there, right? So conclusive paragraph. What do you want to do with this degree? So I say this, okay, you just want to reiterate again. So you will see that by the time you read the first and last paragraph, you can understand what the reviewer wants. Okay, short and long term goals. Like I said, this doesn't have to be definite. Okay, restate your desire and readiness towards joining the program. Like, I believe. I'm convinced that. This program will. It's the right decision for me. Like I said, I'm always very careful of sharing. I could have shared mine, but I realize that more oftentimes it doesn't help people to write, because it's kind of cuts down their innovative skills, which is not good. Okay. And then close it up, be sure enthusiasm or be optimistic, showing the admission you read. Oh, you look forward to joining the come on, let them read it and like, who is this guy? Like, we really want to meet this guy. We really need to meet this guy. That and not like, oh, you're like, who's this person? Okay. All right. I say this, declare yourself wanted with the SOP. Like, let them read it. I'm like, this guy, we need to see him. Okay. So I'm gonna just I don't know how many minutes I have more, but I'm trying to.
Few minutes.
Few minutes, okay. So again, you can perhaps just send me a text so I can know the message rather, so I can know. All right. You can see this SOP that I'm showing. Sorry, if you look time doesn't. Let me go and come back to this slide. Let me just quickly. I want to finish up everything I have, and then
Okay.
I'll come back to this slide just to show you. Okay, so I highly recommend this material. I remember when I wrote my first SOP draft, I sent to my mentor in Education USA, Divine, and I was like, Emmanuel, you know what? Have you read this? I said, no. Okay, go and read this and then send me a new draft. My goodness. And then I took time and I read, and I can tell you that it really helped. It did. Read it. It's going to help you. I mean, you will see some of these things I'm saying today. Okay. Okay, so I'll go to writing code emails and I'll click drag back to just show you the anatomy of a good SOP. You want to write code emails, okay? I probably would have written almost 300. Oh, I mean, a lot of code emails in my life. Like when I was trying out for several schools, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, name it. And it's, I mean, I just keep writing emails, but at start, I didn't get response, but when I had meeting with my mentors and it was reviewed, I began to get response with every emails that I wrote. So keep it simple, okay? Professor don't have time, right? Put your strong foot first. I'm just giving you tips. Don't, I mean, for instance, if you finish with a 2-1, you don't need to mention it, okay? You don't need to be, you want to, if you have a 2-1 and then you have maybe 8 publications or maybe some publications, just mention the publication is good enough, like, oh, with research, or maybe you have research experience. Put your strong foods and don't put what I'm going to read like, oh, what is this? Why are you telling me you have this when you're ready, when you actually have had something better? You get what I'm trying to say? Go straight to the point. People are busy, all right? And don't be annoyed if you don't get a response, because at times some of your mails will go to the junk, okay? All right, so salutation is a good place to start. I don't know how many I don't know the area of audience I have, but don't say sir or ma, because you're in a different world here. You don't know if it's sir or ma, all right? Just go by the name. Professor, yeah, hello. If you are comfortable with the first name only, good, but you can just put the the salutation there, and then grades, and then introduce yourself. So I'll just summarize into 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph, introduce yourself, basically, oh, I'm this, and this, just briefly, and I have research, experience in this, and look, I'm interested in pursuing this. Okay, and I'm writing to inquire, like your first paragraph, introduce yourself and tell why you're actually writing this email. The next paragraph is you're summarizing your research experience or your experience you have and connected to the professor's research experience and how that applies to them, right? You want to show connections, express interest in what you're doing, be specific as much as possible, okay? Attach your resume and transcript, all right? And then send reminders, maybe 1 week. I would say not more than twice, I guess. And then just move on. Okay. Thank you for your time, but I'll quickly go back to just show you the anatomy stuff I was saying. So if you look at this SOP, you can see it don't have to be this way, right? This is just like a draft, and then you can see how captivating the first paragraph, the first sentence looks like, and then you can see clearly moving to the opening narrative with purpose, you understand, and then we begin to go on to the background. You can see it follows up everything we've been saying, and it begins to narrow down to the research experience. You see, my passion for physics extends beyond the classroom. I'm currently involved in this, maybe your interest stems from your classroom work, which is okay. See, which is okay, right? And then you just move down to your experience that you have, and then from there you begin to talk. Yeah, when you're talking about your choice of university, you won't really mention faculty members, right? And then you're good. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Emmanuel. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to take questions or right, or I can stop sharing my screen. But thanks, guys. It's nice having talk with you.
So much. I learned a lot. Like even sitting right here. I was even noting down points. That you were saying. when you said keep it simple, keep it short, avoid redundancy, and even when you even mentioned the fact that it applies beyond even just writing the recipe, even in grad school too, when you want to answer assignment, write, answers to assignments or, literature reviews and whatnot, you want to avoid, redundancies in your work and whatnot. So it's really was really insightful for me, I must say. It's blessed to have you, to have you on the same once again. So I don't know, I'll hand over to Mercy. I don't know if she wants to do the giveaways now or she wants the next speaker to pop in. But I'll hand over to Mercy now so she would know what next, how are we progressing forward. But yeah, please stay with us, boss Emmanuel. So for questions, I have a couple of questions too.
Oh yeah. I'll be here. I'll be
Yeah,
here.
thank you
Just
so
like
much.
I just put up my camera. I'm trying
Okay.
to relax
Yeah.
and join. I'll be here.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that wonderful presentation. Benjamin also gave a nice presentation. Yeah, so if you're interested in scholarships in Europe, in the UK, in Canada, US, this is for you. So yeah, icebreaker. I know we have been under that intense, session, trying to write some things, trying to, do one or two. So we want to do a little bit of I want to have that break where we can. So I'll be doing the giveaway session right now. So and this is MTN. So MTN users, are you available in the house? And let's know who got this. So like I said, this is like a nice breaker. We don't want to keep learning and learning. We want to have a break so that we can, get all those information in, digest them and all that. So let's know who got this.
I tried the card too.
Yeah, you cannot try it. Does someone get this? MTN users in the house. I know Nigerians, sorry. Other African, I think we have to, do something for other people in the other African countries. Yeah. So who has gotten this?
MTN.
Okay. Has someone gotten that?
Just type on the chat box if you.
Yeah. Just type in the chat box. Yeah, if you got this. Okay, next. Let me see if I can be playing something about one.
Yeah, we have a winner.
Okay, yeah, congrats. Yeah. So who got the first one? I don't know if anybody got the first one.
Was it the first one you got, Cecilia, or the second one? I think it was the first one she got.
Cecilia, was it the first or the second?
She got both.
She got both. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. Oh, someone got this. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Airtel users in the house, yeah, you get ready. Yeah. Sorry about this, those in the other African countries, so maybe do something for you guys later, but this for Nigerians. And I know it's a lot right now in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who got this? Second one, Airtel users. Second one is out. I want us to be fast about this so that we can go back to the main thing, to the reason why we are here. So who got the second one? The third one, let us know in the chat box if you got any of this.
Can you rename for the Zoom user?
What?
we have like another winner for one of the
Oh, how can we
like
get
I
it?
can't see the name of the person though. Could you rename your device to your name?
Yeah.
iPhone and so the name, like
So the third one, who got the third one? I don't know if anyone has seen the third one yet. So I know fastest finger. Yeah.
fastest finger.
You have to be very fast. So,
Yeah.
and that's how the grad school application is. You have to be fast
Yeah.
with your application. You have to start early. You don't want to delay, something like that. So, yeah,
Like another hit of applications coming.
I got the third. Oh, nice. Okay, glow users. Yeah, you glow users. We got that. Okay, the second one. So let us know if you got the first.
Yeah,
And
we have Samson got the third one. We have Olamide got I don't know if it's the group or we have Olamide.
yeah, so let's have someone, use the glue. The second one, look at that. I'm about to take this off. Yeah, so scholarship is all about money.
Where the funding is, right?
It's all about the funding. So if you are here thinking, oh, I want to go on a self-funded program, maybe this is not for you. So it's a lot of work, right? Yes, it's hard work, diligence, perseverance, and all that. So what did you say?
Going for a PhD that is not funded, I would not advise it.
I know, right? Or going for a master's in the UK that is not funded. It's
Very
kind of
stressful.
yeah. So we need the money. We need the funds in dollars, in pounds, in euros. Yeah. So
You have Emily got the second glue. So you can
okay. Yeah, I don't know if I should do this after Miriam's session or okay. Airtel users, I think I'll just stop at Airtel and then we'll continue later.
Yeah.
Airtel, are you there? Okay. Airtel users, please, I want us to be very fast with this. The second one, so let us know in the chat box if you got the first. Okay. Oh, great. Airtel. So who got the first? Who got the second? No one yet.
Just copy things happy.
Who got the first and second? Okay, maybe I'll stop here. So
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we could bring Miriam on board and then
yeah, let's bring Miriam on board. Okay.
Yeah. So Miriam is another person I know too. She's one of my other bosses too, and she's also a Commonwealth scholar. And she's also a PhD scholar, so it's double anointing for you guys this afternoon. So yeah, so she's a fully funded PhD student at Pennsylvania State University in the Department of Biochemistry, Microbiology, and Molecular Biology, and she's a recipient of the Omar and Oscar Robert Scholarship. She holds a bachelor's in biochemistry and a master's in biotechnology. Federal University of Agriculture, Nigeria, and UWS in the UK. As I said, she is a Commonwealth Shared Scholar awardee, and her research interest focuses on gene regulation and cancer research. where she explores the intricate mechanisms governing gene expression and delves into complexities of cancer. She has 2 published research articles on cancer research, and she has other projects in the pipelines, and she's happy to contribute to development of science and development of society. Yeah, I'm happy to bring you on board, Miriam. It's nice to have you, to talk to you like on the same call and to have you speak to us this afternoon. And we hope that we'll learn a lot from you. Thank you, Miriam. You have the floor.
Russia needs to receive an award on introducing people.
I know, right?
You don't have to do that. Thank you for the interest. So, okay, as Goshen introduced me already, Mariam, it's nice to be here to like share my own little sense. And
nice.
yeah, so I'll actually be focusing on how to apply for application fee. So if we still have time, I just like touch some other areas, but the talk will be focused really on application fee waiver. So like, just a minute, I think.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me stop sharing.
Okay. Hey.
Oh, good. Nice.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. You can see it. So
okay.
Just good.
Yeah. So as I said, I'll be focusing on the application fee waiver. So one of the most important aspects, like while you're submitting your application, especially when it comes to schools in the US, application fee waiver is like one very important aspect of your application. So you really need to, if you think you don't have the money, if you feel you can afford to pay, it's actually okay to pay.
It's okay.
But if you think the money is a lot because like some application fee as high as $120, and I don't know about other African country, but if you're converting that to Naira, you know how much it is. And some people's salary is not even up to that. So it's because like you can't afford to pay the application fee. But you think you are a good fit for the program. So why not shoot your shot? Yes, majorly I'll be talking about the application fee. And depending on the school, you might have to like draft a letter or a statement to tell them why you think you need to get your application fee waived. And I'll be giving my 2 cents about like how to apply, but I know for sure like the second speaker actually had so many information, and even myself, like I really learned a whole lot of new things that I didn't even know about before. And I'll also talk about deadlines. Like deadlines are super important in any of the application. You just have to consider the deadlines. And if we have time, we might be taking some questions, but I think that would be after the whole session.
Yes.
So I just wish to say it's like grad school is like a lot of hard work, and the committee, the faculty knows that like grad school is hard. That's just the truth. You don't have to like sugarcoat things. So if you can do the hard work of submitting the application, they believe the application is hard, like the second speaker said. So they believe, oh, for you to be able to submit this application, at least you are in a good fit to take in the stress of grad school. And I say, when you ask a graduate student, how are you? That question is just a rhetorical question. Like you don't want to get an answer, actually. Okay, so the main business of this, I'll be really focusing on the application fee waiver. And usually for all schools that has the application fee, if you don't pay or like if you are not considered that you've actually fulfilled the requirements of the application fee, your application will not be made available to the committee that is supposed to like review your application for them to consider you for the admission. So you really should take note of that. So where can you get information about the application fee? So depending on the school, your first point of contact is the program, like the graduate school websites. So when you go to the university websites, there's like a different information for undergraduates and the graduate school. So you have to like go to the graduate school website of the school, and you can get a whole lot of information in the graduate school website. Like even from the graduate school website, you can get the link to the particular department you're actually interested in. So you have all of those information on the graduate school website. So in some cases, the graduate school actually like organize some programs, and they tell you, okay, if you attend this talk or if you attend this event, you're automatically considered for an application fee waiver. And that's like the fee from the graduate school. It's the grad school that's waiving the application fee because we attended a particular fair they ask you to. So depending on the school, some graduate schools don't have that kind of like program in place. So they don't they don't get involved in application fee waivers. So if that is the case, the graduate school on the website, they will specifically tell you, if you think you should qualify for an application fee waiver, you should consult your program. So in that case, you would want to go to the program website. So the other source of information is the program website. So on the program website, you would see the application requirements. And when you get to the page of the application fee, they tell you, okay, if you want, you can apply for application fee waiver is available on need requirements. So you have to tell them, why do you think you need the application fee waiver? Why can't you afford the fee? So aside that, the faculty contacts. So aside the program website, the program used to have like a particular email on their website that, okay, if you have any question, you should send your questions or your reservations to a particular email. So they used to have a faculty contact. In that case, if you think the general information on the program website is not directly addressing your application fee waiver question, you should reach out to the email in that program website. And sometimes like the faculty themselves, so if you check through the faculty and you see a particular faculty member recruiting, you can try to send a code email like, okay, you want to work with this person and her. And if you both agree on a consensus, like, okay, it's ready to take you in, you can tell them, okay, you cannot afford the application fee waiver. Sometimes faculty pays for the application fee if they believe like you've passed their screening and they really want you to come in for the program. So like I said earlier, the graduate fair, that is for school that has the graduate fair. So, and like just few schools, I don't really know about that. So, but the most important place I think you can usually get precise information on the application fee waiver is your program website. Like the whole application instruction, everything you need to know is in your program website. So you have to like take your time to just go through that. So depending on the school, some department, like for my case, like for when I wanted to apply to the Penn State, so I sent an email to the contact on the program website, like, okay, I would like to apply for an application fee waiver because I think I can afford this. And it was like, okay, you can apply, and you need to submit an essay, you need to submit your CV, you need to submit, and that is not like all the requirements that he's asking me to submit is not for the main admission, it's just for the application fee waiver. So depending on the school, they might even have you to submit, okay, we need to see your CV and some essay on why you think you should be considered for the application fee waiver. So in that case, you need to draft an essay that is particularly talking about the application fee waiver and not why you think you are a best fit for the program. So like I said, judge yourself. Why do you think you need an application fee waiver? And that's like the starting point for you to like get your whole essay thing. So you don't just want to tell someone, oh, I think I should get an application fee waiver because I don't even know if your school will be giving me admission. So to yourself, like judging, that's like judging yourself. That is not like a convincing sentence. So you just want to go on like, oh, the application fee waiver, you don't think you can afford that, like probably you are in so country and going by the exchange rates, your salary even at the month is like 60,000 naira, and converting that is like $60, let's say at the black market rates now. And the application fee waiver is saying, okay, it is $75. Like I think that's the list I've sent, $75. So that means you have to work for like If your salary is 60,000, you eat, you take transport to your office and home. So even if you be having savings, maybe like 10,000, that means you have to work for like 7.5 months for you to like make up the application fee waiver just for a school. So you want to explain this reason, and trust me, if they think your reason was good enough, you will get. And for some, it depends on, like, they'll tell you, okay, if you want to apply for an application fee waiver, you have to like submit the request for the waiver maybe from a month after the application window opens, so you can have enough time to conclude the other part of the application, so that you don't waste the application waiver if they give it to you and you don't have time to complete your application. So depending on the school, like I said earlier, they might ask you for some other details, like you can be asked to include your CV and include an essay, and also you would want to add that. And for application fee waiver request, I said there's no killing 5 birds with one stone. So if a particular school is telling you, okay, submit this, another school might have another thing they want to put into consideration. So it's not like, oh, I have this essay for this particular school require me to submit, and I think it will work for other schools. So I just like remove the school name from it, put the other school, and you just submit across, but like that. No, they have a particular question they're asking you to address. So you should want to tailor the essay, if they ask you to submit an essay, to a particular school and address the question they're asking you to point out. So another thing is, it's application fee waiver. It's not like your admission information, like you're not submitting an admission information yet. So you don't want to like go on for application fee waiver, you're having 3 pages. It's not necessary. So you should try not to like be so overboard with the whole story. I know you want to say a lot, but try to like be straightforward. Just like tell them the main reason. They don't want to go on and on. They have a lot of things to do. So it's like a discouragement when they are saying 3 pages just for application fee waiver. It's like a red flag. So, and most importantly, take note of the spelling thing. Like, depending on where you think you're applying to, the American English, the spelling is actually different from the British spelling thing. So I think Grammarly solves most of these problems. So you really want to use that. So I just want to add 1 or 2 things to what the second speak, because I actually thought I was going to talk about that. So the first thing is, there are lots of schools in the US, and it's impossible for you to apply to all schools in the US. I know you want to like maximize your chance of like getting an admission, but when you have like a particular, instead of putting the effort to apply to 20 schools, why not put the same effort to apply to 5 schools, and like that way you have like a better chance to focus more on what really you should do. So you cannot apply, do your homework, and that's like the most stressful part of the whole thing. You have to just do the work. So the second thing is the research. So, okay, I know there are tons of schools, but I think not all schools have what I actually want. So your research interest can help you like reduce the list. When you have like 20 schools, you want to reduce the list so you can focus more. So you can do your research. The internet is your one-stop shop. Yeah, you should narrow down the specific schools. And the next thing is, you have to decide, okay, I think I want to apply to 5 schools. I think I want to apply to 10 schools. What do I need to do? What are they asking me to submit? I have 3 months. How do I like schedule my time? Okay, I'll give in 3 weeks to this. I'll give in 3 weeks to this. And you have to like plan. You decide what you want to do. And you might think, aside your research interest, okay, maybe ranking matters to you. You think based on your research, the school is highly ranked than, because trust me, like the schools in US are great, but each school has like what they are so good at. So a school might be actually very good at engineering, and they are ranked like number 2 in the US in engineering. And the same school might not be ranked number 2 in the US in another course. So you really want to consider that, like, based on your research, what is the ranking of the school? And that actually helps to narrow it down your research. So strategize, gather all the materials you need. You need your transcript, you need your certificate. If it's ready, you just want to put in some things. You need all the proof that you have that, okay, I have this, I have that. depending on what the school are asking you to. Some might ask you to submit GRE, some might tell you, oh, we don't need the GRE. It's not like adding anything to your to the consideration of the application. So you don't really need to bother. If the school is telling you GRE is optional, why stress yourself? Why not focus on other things that makes your application stand out than having to put in the time again to prepare for a GRE exam? Since the school said it's optional, you can decide to submit. It doesn't affect your application. So your SOP, like, is the king of the whole thing. It's just like, how do I say, like, when you praise God, like, be there before I get there. That's what your SOP really is. It is there before you get there. So they judge you based on what is in your SOP. And I think one thing we should really note about SOP is there's no, okay, Goshen submitted this SOP and he was able to get admission into North Dakota. I'm submitting the same SOP to West Virginia and I'm going to get admitted. No, the question they're asking you, like what the faculty committee think is important for them to consider you, is different. So each school usually have, like, when you're asking you to write an essay, they have a particular question that they're telling you, okay, we think you should structure your essay by addressing this question. They believe like answering that question is like putting you in the same level, yeah, of all applicants. Like we want to gauge everybody based on this list. So that's what the question really is. So you should make sure that, okay, the essay you're writing, it might be okay, but make sure it is addressing the question they want. The answer is what they actually want to see. And the reason for the word count is because some schools can have as much as 500 applications. They don't want to read 10 pages for one person. They have lots of people who are applying and they have to read the applications. So that's why, like, make sure you're trying to stick to the word counts. It makes them, okay, if they think they want 500, that means they really need to like read. They want to read the essay. They don't, even if you're writing, let me not say rubbish, like your essay is not making sense. Just because, okay, it is the essay, it is 500 words, you wrote 500 words, they will still read it because they are meant to, like, it is what they should do. They don't read the first sentence and say, okay, I think this person is not, they take their time to like read the essay, and that's why they usually set the word limit. So you should want to focus on the word limits. Then the recommendation, like this thing is so important. As much as your SOP is important, your recommendation is important. Like there's one person I know who was supposed to like submit 3 recommendations. And it was funny that the last person that was supposed to submit the 3rd recommendation did not submit. And because of that, like the admission committee told him that was the only reason they didn't give him that, like he was supposed to get, but because the 3rd recommendation did not submit, that was the only reason they didn't give him the admission. So you really want to follow up with your recommenders, like if they got the email, because like, for example, in my case, there was a time that the link I was using, I was trying to use my supervisor for my master's degree in the UK to submit a recommendation for me. And I don't know what happened in the application process. So because the professional email of the person is having the UK, wherever things, she didn't get the email. And I wouldn't have known unless I followed up with her, like, oh, the admission said they've sent you a link to submit the recommendation. Did you get it? Didn't you get it? And stuff like that. So in that way, like, they gave her another option of submitting the link, sending a letter directly to them. So you don't know these things if you don't follow up to know if your recommendation was actually submitted. Then the next thing is your CV. The CV is as much as important as the SOP, because they believe like the SOP might not give you a chance to like say all of your achievements. That's why your CV is there. You want to say as much, but not as too much. So you really want to like make your CV very clear. You don't want to like overwhelm, and you use the fonts that it's not even enticing to read. So you want to be concise. I don't want to add reference to be provided upon request. Add your reference to your CV. There's a reason the section is there for your referee. And another thing I'll say is the transcripts. So the transcript is actually very important, because even while reading through some of the application things, they will tell you, okay, you should have a background course in this and this and this. And the transcript shows that, like, okay, I took the course in this. So I have the background that is required for me to pursue the further studies. So I didn't say, like, aside these 4 things I mentioned, you don't have to submit any other things. You have to submit things based on what the application, the school is asking you to submit aside these 4 things. Like, these 4 things are just like a standard for almost every school. Like, every school has you to submit that. But besides that, they might ask you to submit some other things. Some schools might ask you to do West evaluation. Some schools might ask you to, like, I was trying to apply to Stanford. No, it was Cornell, yeah. And funniest thing was, like, I submitted the application fee waiver. I got the application fee waiver. I submitted every other thing. But they were telling me I have to, like, do the West evaluation. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. So because of that, like, I just abandoned the application thing. So if you really want to know what the school wants you to do, and if they think they have a reason for asking you to do that. So if you don't do all of that, they don't consider that your application is complete. And if your application is not complete, it will not be reviewed. So after getting all of the things, you have to, like, launch your test. So you have to submit. So without submitting, there's no way, like, it is just as aside submitting, if the school is asking for application fee waiver and you did not complete, application fee, your application is not tendered to who are supposed to, like, review the application. So you should just take note of everything in the application process. And most of this information are always available on the program website. Like, I think we don't just take the pain to, like, read through the information. It might really be a lot, but trust me, the program website page is very little to what you'll be reading in grad school. So it's really not a lot. So another thing we'll consider is the deadline. You have to, like, make sure you take note of the deadlines. Some school will tell you, okay, they have different deadlines. So they have some school has priority deadline that, okay, based on if you submit your application by these dates, you will be considered for funding. That's the priority deadline. So if they think, oh, if you submit it by these dates to these dates, you will be considered if they still have funding available. Or if you think you have money to pay for your application fee, you can submit for your grad school, you can submit at any time within the application frame. But you really want to, like, take note of the application deadline things. So you might think you are putting in the work, but what if you are not submitting it as when you are supposed to be considered for the funding? It's like a wasted effort. So, and some school will tell you, okay, we take in admission, even if as that second time we think we still have space, we can still consider if you submit by this date. Check the application timeline. So the domestic applicants, the timeline is actually very different for them. No, they are citizens, they are the owner of the country. So you don't want to confuse them with the deadline thing. And another thing is, I think some schools do the rolling application thing. So for some schools, even if they're telling you, okay, the application period is September to November, they don't review the submitted applications until that deadline, that's the November. But some will tell you, okay, we do rolling application. So that's like, maybe if you have like up to 10 applications, we review that first. If you get another 10, we review. So it depends really on the school. And you want to take note of this, you really just need to take notes. So another thing is, okay, like I said, the area of focus for your application, your SOP, your recommendation, your CV, your transcript, your words occasionally, your certificates, you can be asked to upload, and some other relevant documents based on the school requirements. So like I would have shared a sample of an SOP, but like just as the second speaker mentioned, like people go overboard, like trying to take a particular, when you share a sample, like they want to try to use it as a benchmark for their essays, and it's always not be so advisable. Like you don't take someone's SOP and you're trying to like edit it sentence by sentence, like, oh, this is the standard. It's like there's no standard, there's no a one way to this thing. So like I said, the admission committee has different questions, and the question varies from school to school. Make sure your SOP properly address the question. So if they're asking you to state, like, okay, some question I can just ask you, what do you think, like, what challenge do you think you've gone through to make you like better fit for so it depends on what you're applying for, really. So you really want to like, okay, I have experience in this, and I think the experience actually makes me better fit to like understand some things about this thing. Gosh, I do we still have time so I can know how to like
Yeah,
rush?
yeah. I think you should be rounding up right now. So
Okay. So make sure like your SOP properly address your question. And I think it's important to mention because like I met someone that did like the undergraduate research. I don't know about other countries, but in Nigeria, most times they're like divided to have a particular project supervisor, and your research has to be what your supervisor interest is in, not like because okay, this is what I want to do. But like it's not that way here. So they don't really know that okay, that is how it is done in where you're coming from. So you have to be able to like draw the connection, even if your research that you did in your undergraduate was not what you're really so much interested in. You don't want to draw the correct connection that, okay, because of this research, I think I'm interested in this and this and this. It does not necessarily mean when you get there, you must work on that particular project. Like that is what you must do. No, you have like the chance to explore, you have rotations to do it. So you can decide then, oh, I think I like this area. I want to focus more on that. But it is important, like they believe your undergraduate research has prepared you to an extent for this thing. So you should be able to draw connection between your research, your experience, and your interest in your SOP. So, like I said, word count is very, very important. You just want to keep to the word count. So I just like draft an essay that, okay, my name is Miriam. I am so years old. I am international. Like, even you reading the paragraph, like, it sounds big to me. Like, even despite I'm not the admission faculty, I know, like, from the first paragraph, you have so many achievements. You have a master's degree. You've gone to the UK. You did this. You did that. You're a first generation family. You have a lot of good points, but articulating your points to like bring out what you want them to know about you is very, very important. So that's why like I just drafted this for you to, okay, you might be having a good point, but are you putting it how you're supposed to like address the question? So I have another one who's like, I'm trying to compare the two paragraphs. Oh, I have a research in this. The World Health Organization says 1 in 2 people will be diagnosed with some sort of cancer. And this like, even the first paragraph, like bringing interest in the oh, you have a problem like you are very interested in, and you even have a personal experience. Not like you might not really have a personal experience with someone who has that disease. I was just trying to like merge my experience with the research. So it's like very important. You're drawing connections in what you're writing. So you should really, really take note of that. So I think I've come to the end of the little presentation. I don't know if we still have time. Do we really have like a few minutes?
do you want to give?
I just want to like broad thing like I would have wanted to say was you should just try to like, even while you're going through the school application thing, make sure like just take the time, the stress and the effort to really read through the program websites. You don't have to read all of the graduates websites, the program websites, which is specific to your own interest. You just want to read that, like you have all the information you need in there. Another thing I would like to say is we're trying to like reach out to someone to try to like, okay, I would appreciate if you're able to review this and all. Trust me, when you get to grad school, you understand like the stress some people take to read your essays, and you really appreciate that. So you don't want to like bring his hand. It makes the person reading the essay look like, is this person whining me? Like let the person see like, oh, you've done your own part of the work, and it is worth the person's time to read your essay. You just have to like do the work. The person cannot profit you. Because if the person does that, the person is not helping you. When you get to grad school, who is going to help you do the work? So like that's just the general thing I would like to have. Thank you for listening. I hope it was.
That was great. Thank you, Miriam, for that.
I'm going to leave a round of applause in the chat box for Miriam. I mean, all this it's been really, really interesting.
Thank you for that great presentation. That was interesting. Thank you. And so we are coming to the end of the session. So I hope your books are full already. I don't know how many How many of the books you are using?
Mine is full. My sheet I've jotted and
I've
jotted.
also been jotting, like it's a lot of information. So it's very important that you get this information and use them. So get the information, apply them, and because you're already in that period where you have to start, submitting applications, Commonwealth is out, and some other scholarship application is out. So we are at that point where you need to sit down, think, write your essays, and then submit a very good application. Yeah, thank you so much, Miriam. And Goshen, please, I just want you to run through the Commonwealth application because I know there are some persons here that are interested in Commonwealth. So they're interested in the Commonwealth scholarship. Commonwealth, the interesting thing about Commonwealth is that it's fully funded. In fact, a friend of mine said it's from, they took it from grass to
grass to grace.
If you don't have anything.
Commonwealth is just, they are the best. They'll just pick it from your house.
Exactly. You don't need to, flights covered, visa, everything.
Just come as you are. Come as you are. That is what.
Come as you are. Oh my God. And then you get some allowances. I can remember then we had to let's collect our travel, our this grant. Collected everything. Then one clothing.
It was so funny, we didn't even know some of the money we're supposed to collect, not until they reach out to you oh, you've not been able to collect this. And
I collected this freaking thing.
We took some tests, like the TB test, the COVID test. They refunded back the money that we used for the test. And I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Flights are expensive now. Visa is expensive now.
Myself and Miriam, while we were coming to the UK, myself and Miriam got on a business class, and I was like, okay, interesting.
Business class is the enjoyment.
So
the economy is the only option.
So go share quickly.
I'll just share my screen. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see it.
I'm just going to take this down. How do I get this off? Okay. Looking for the presentation button.
And also, one thing, we have different types of the Commonwealth scholarships. So it's very important that you use Google to your advantage. So there are a lot of different types of Commonwealth scholarships. You have the Commonwealth Masters, Commonwealth, and they have their peculiarities. So you need to read, on the website what you need to do.
Yeah.
We got the Commonwealth shared scholarships where you don't need to get, in touch with maybe any nominating agency in your country, in your own country. Yeah. So this is between the UK, the Commonwealth scholarship, and also the UK's university. So it's the UK university that kind of nominates you. So they don't know you. Yeah.
So good thing is that we have Commonwealth alumni scholars in the house. So this is a good time to shoot your questions. So I'll just run through them. Commonwealth scholarship is really popular. And so because we have limited time, I'll just run through my slides. So just like Messi said, why is it not in? What? Sorry. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, we can, please.
Is it legible like this so that I can I have a couple of slides so I know how fast or slow I should do.
Okay. You don't want to do a slideshow or something?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my slideshow.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just we can see it.
I'll try. Yeah. So just like Bessie said, so go tons of Commonwealth scholarship, masters where you have to go to a nominating agency is shared where you don't need to go to FSB or other nominating agency. You just have business with the school you're going to. And like there's like some nuances to how you apply for the shared and the masters, which is the other nominated agencies apart from the school. So basically the shared, you can apply to as many schools as you like, but just like many other speakers have said, you want to apply to a program or school where you fit in the most with your background and everything. You want to limit off-target effects as much as possible. And like there are a few criteria, eligibility criteria that you need to meet. Basically, if you're Nigerian or you're from Africa, you can apply. And so like these are some of the stuff that you would ask like on the first few pages on the form. It's a pretty easy form to understand if you like really take the time to look at it and look at the questions they're asking. And then all the information I'll be saying today, you can always find them on the official web page for the Commonwealth scholarships, right? So, and also I would like to just point out that some of the things I'll be saying are just like my own view as from my experiences. So like, it's not like the Commonwealth view in any way. So like you need to have finished if you're applying for the masters or the shared, you need to have finished your grad, degree. Basically, you need to have the transcript because you have that too. On the application page, you can also list like the number of publications you've had. You would ask about your employment details and previous work experiences. You need to provide like mail addresses of the referees, and then basically the crux of the matter is the essays, which are the developmental impact essays divided in different parts, as the case may be. So, like I said, like the main thing is the essays. So we have like about 12 essays, no more, 12 to 30 essays. So basically, these essays can be like 200 words or 300 words or 500 words, as the case may be. So the first part would be basically asking you questions about like developmental issues at the global, national, and local level. So basically, like just like my boss Emmanuel said, so like you need to answer some WH questions on what, why, why this condition, why this research, like what do you hope to solve. And one of the things that I've come to realize that the Commonwealth really loves is when you can relate what you want to do to SDG goals. So SDG goals are basically sustainable development goals. So they're really big on SDG. So, and one of the beautiful things is that no matter the course you're going to study in the UK, you can always fit them under one or two SDG goals. So it's always nice when they see you linking up like, what you want to do in your essays to one of their goals, and also like, you can always Google, there are about 17 of them. You can always Google them online and see like how your interest fits in. And I would also like to highlight that, just like the other speaker said, like, if you're tackling like if you are trying to solve like a particular problem, don't like, be consistent. So don't say something here, say another thing in the next essay, so let there be flow, in whatever problem you're trying to solve, So like in the third part of your essay, you'll be asked for the outcome you plan to achieve, the time frame, who the beneficiary is going to be, and whatnot. So like you need to be specific. So like say for instance, say you want to solve like you're trying to like your research interest is towards cancer, just like Miriam's. So what are the specific outcomes? So they don't want vague. So I plan to cure cancer. So that is like more like it's possible, but like realistically, like in XYZ time frame, can you like cure XYZ cancer? So don't be vague. Who will your beneficiaries be? Like, so the problem you've stated in the first few part of the essay. So like, who is it going to benefit like at the later part of your development progress in your career trajectory? So basically I've said this, like how can your impact be measured? What is the metric to measure your impact? So is it via like more survival rates in XYZ patients, by more advocacy for XYZ programs, is it by more awareness in this particular region? Specifics like this is what they like to see. Basically, a typical Commonwealth scholar is someone who can write something and then the person reading can actually see whatever the person writes, listing of the paper into reality. So they don't want something that they know that it's not possible. So whenever they see that, oh, this person is just right, it's good to be ambitious, but like just like people speakers have said, be realistic. Like with these resources you have, or with the resources available currently, can you do this in XYZ number of years? That is what you should like think about when you're writing the essays. And then like make sure like whatever you're writing fits into the objectives. You can always find this like on your web pages. And then you would also be asked to write a personal statement, basically. So like the speakers have talked about like how to write it within SOP. So basically the same format that you would write like an SOP, but you want to keep your SOP in the same thoughts as you've started off with the development and impact essays, right? And then Commonwealth scholarships are really, really big on volunteering, community development, and whatnot. So, like, if you've engaged in your community or you've had volunteering experience, this is a very good way to align that to the essays. They really, really like to do that, because like they want to see how you pay. Like, so someone is investing like 80K pounds or whatnot to your studies and career progression. I want to see how you're going to pay this forward to the community. So like, if you've done like volunteering work experiences, so it's a good time to really showcase this to them to see. And so like how to apply, I know like the FSB is out, the nominating agency. Like I said, like the way you apply for the Commonwealth Masters, and if you're going through like FSB as a nominating body, it's different from if you're applying for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship on their portal. But regardless, it's a simultaneous. So for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, it's a simultaneous application. So like as you apply via the portal, you need to apply also for an admission into your university that you want to study XYZ program. In some universities, they will say that, okay, are you applying? But they would ask you like in the application run through if you're applying for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. If you are, you can always indicate it there. Some people somehow manage to like slot this into their SOP when they are submitting to their university that, okay, I've applied for the Commonwealth, blah, 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 so the XYZ course in the university, basically. And another beautiful thing about the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which I like, which the Commonwealth Masters Scholarship that you get nominated through FSB or other nominating agencies don't have is that. But shared, you can apply to like more than one course and more than one university as it is before. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that like the whatever course you're applying for kind of intertwine or like relates to each other. For example, if you are going for, say, for instance, MSc in biotechnology, like I did, you can also like apply for another program. For example, say for instance, MSc in biomedical science or MSc in infectious disease. Like there are some overlapping interests, in the course itself. So like, or you have to bear in mind that you have to tweak your essays to fit in the different courses you're applying for, which is more taxing. So just like the speakers have said, so you want quality over quantity. So like I've seen people that apply to like 20 universities, 20 different courses, and they got no nomination. So basically, you want quality over quantity, basically. But yeah, it doesn't like dispute the fact that if you apply for more universities, you have more chances, because some people would say that scholarship is a game of numbers. I don't know, but yeah. So, but I'd always say like it's quality over quantity, like most cases as it may be. And so, like I've said, like there are different timelines. So once you apply, take note of the deadline. So like you can always find deadlines on their pages. So take note of like when you're supposed to turn in your applications. Take note of like when your references are supposed to be sent. So basically, when you submit your essays and the universities or the panel reads your essays and they find you worthy, so the next thing is to contact your referees that you've indicated with their mails in the form for them to send their references on your behalf. So you would definitely know, because like you would be aware of the timeline. So you could always ask your referee if they receive like mail from Commonwealth on your behalf. So basically, if you're in Nigeria, you can apply. So you need to submit your ID or just to show that you are a citizen, like a resident in Nigeria, you need to transcript to show that you finished like your undergrad. If you're applying for Commonwealth PhD, it's a different ballgame, like I said. So like this session might not like provide like in-depth. If messages that maybe we can have like another workshop of how you can apply like real time for different scholarships or critic essays. But basically, the way you apply for Commonwealth PhD is different from how you apply for the shared, basically. Also, the way you apply for Commonwealth split site PhD is also different from how you apply for just the Commonwealth PhD. I think. So just want to note that like when you want. But the good thing is that the process is well delineated on their website. Like if you go on web page, you see like what you're supposed to submit, what you need to do, basically. I'm not going to touch on the time and selection. I'm not going to touch on the timeline because like that is that changes yet today. So this was a slide I prepared like early this year or last year for some event. But I'm going to touch on the selection criteria. So it's a guide your thought process and how you know, like you would know like where you stand basically or where to improve on. Because yeah, you may not have you may not have enough volunteering experience, but you may have like you may be innovative enough to create like a compelling essay like that would give you more marks in that particular part where you will not get like a part or whatnot. So basically selection is by merit for sure, at least for the Commonwealth shared scholarship. That I know because we're dealing directly with universities. So you have no business with like FSD or whatnot. So they evaluate you basically on your merits. Like if you're first class, you get some point. They evaluate you on your potential to impact like after you're done with your program, basically. So like these are like some of like the indicators they use or the metric they use to assess candidates. So like I said, academic merit, like your transcript, your recommendation letter, although like the recommendation letter, I feel like it doesn't really carry a lot of marks, to be honest. Because basically for the Commonwealth shared, like you get your recommendations after you've gotten like, so when you get your recommendations, you know somewhat that you're nominated. So like it doesn't really hold water, to be fair. So like yeah, if you have publications, it can count for you. If you have like academic prizes, so like on the form, like you would see like where to like put in like all those achievements and whatnot. Just like Manuel has said, like if you have like publications, put it there. If you have 10, all the 10 there. If you have 1 or 2, put them there. And then like so in terms of like essay wise, like they want to see clarity, basically. So for the master, just over here, they want to see someone who is clear objective as to like answering like the questions they asked. You will see like, so if you go on the form, you will see like the specific questions like written there, like for you to answer and the word count. So I would say like, say for instance, you have a word count, you have like a 400 or 300 word count. I would say like, don't write 50. I mean, like they've already like, I don't know how to put it, but how much can you write like 50 words? So basically, so I see some people like, I've seen like essays where like the word count is 300 for Commonwealth shared scholarship, and you're writing like just 50. Like, I'm like, how can you like put together like answer like a question like in 50 words? Like already like the word count is like really small, and then you're like going like, so I would say like if it's a 300 word count, like think about like the answers you want to give and try and like keep it like say 250 like 300 even though moreover like you won't be able to even submit like if you try like writing like 001 word, you won't be able to submit. So try and think about like these answers, think about the what why questions, and see like how like the program you want to study really answers this question. So and one of the tip I give students is to say for instance the Commonwealth shared scholarship is what you're applying for, or even the Commonwealth master scholarship you're applying for. Say you're applying for an MSc in biotechnology. I would say like up onto the university page, web page of the program you're applying to, and check like the skill sets, check like what the program, because MSc Biotechnology in Nottingham might be I know it's different. Like it's not, well, not so different, but like in terms of like course structure, modules, skill set, we have like slightly different nuances to what is being offered in University of West Scotland or Imperial College London or UCL or whatever university. So like, and the Commonwealth Share Scholarship, like I know for sure that some people in the universities would read your essay before they accept, because my program director actually told me that she read my essays and that like she practically read my essays. So that is why I know that like people sitting in high academic position in university would read some of the recipes definitely. So like, and when they see that you can relate, you can answer the questions using like what the program is about, is going to offer, and the skill set and the expected outcome to answer like these particular questions that the Commonwealth Share Scholarship is asking, the school would most likely select you than someone who is talking like off target or non-specific things in MSc Biotechnology. For instance, if you don't check my university webpage, you would not know that MSc Biotechnology in University of Nottingham has like 3 different branches. We have like the microbial part, which I am on, we have the animal pathway, and we have the plant pathway. So you won't know. So when I was writing my essays for the University of Nottingham, I told them that this was the research part I want to follow. I felt like that could be one of the things that actually stood me out, because like I channeled like my questions to using my previous self-practice to answering like the questions that the problems I stated upstream my, upstream the questions that Commonwealth Scholarship asks. So like some of these things are like what you want to see and answer, and then like your development impact. So like, what is the extent, like how realistic, like what is the impact, like how is it going to be measured? So like, these are some of the things that they check. So yeah, thank you. Like, and if you have more questions, after the videos. I hope I was too.
Yeah, that was a lot of information, but
Yeah.
you did well. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Ocean, for that wonderful presentation. Yeah, so we'll be going to the question and answer session.
Oh,
So,
Mercy.
yeah.
Sorry, Goshen. So sorry, like the information was so. I
so
think
fast.
yeah, no, it's so detailed. Like you tried. The scholarship is a lot of.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like it needs like a full session to like really, really go into detail.
Exactly.
Like,
but I just think like one thing I would want to add is like,
Okay,
just like to give you a better chance when you go through the Commonwealth, like specifically for the Commonwealth shared, there's always like the information about each school that says how many slots they have for that particular scholarship year. So it's just like a way of like increasing your chance. That is like, it's so obvious, like a school of who is having like 1 or 3 slots. You don't, if you have like, you think, okay, after ranking, you're like number 7. Definitely, if you applied to a school that is taking like 7 students, you have a better chance. It's not that you should not apply to the school that is taking the 3 students, but it's just like a way of increasing your chance of getting the scholarship. So it's like advisable. I can't say it's better. Try to target school that has a very much number of slots. So at least, if you're not ranked number 1, 2, by the time it gets to 7, at least you have a chance, and it's likely that you get something.
Like for me, like I applied to like 7 universities, 7 courses related, and I had like about 4 nominations thereabout-ish.
It's always better like that.
yeah. I think that was one thing for me too when I was applying for the Commonwealth scholarships. Number 1, I was like, I'm not going to pay application fee.
Nah,
So
you're not paying anything really. You don't even have to write the paper.
So bad.
So I narrowed down my list. Like I just made sure that okay, application fee I'm not gonna pay, and also I looked at the number of nominees, like each school nominees. Yeah, so I looked at that.
Another place people used to mix it up is like while you're submitting your application to the school, you have to submit an application on the Commonwealth website. So if you're applying to 7 schools, you are submitting 7 applications
Yes.
on the
Seven
Commonwealth
different
website.
applications.
I think like people used to mix that place, like used to mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the application for Commonwealth Shared is the same thing, like the online platform. That's what I'm talking about. So it's the same question. So like Goshen has said, he has been detailed, like he made sure that he covered every of the essays and what it entails. So you can use that for your Commonwealth scholarship, master's scholarship application, or any other, because I think it's the same thing and the same essays. The only thing that differs is maybe for the Commonwealth Masters, you need to get nomination from a nominating agency in your country. So I know FAWE takes more people, like
women.
yeah, I think it's related to women. So if you're a girl child or a woman, you can consider reaching out to FAWE for your Commonwealth Masters nomination. Yeah, and there are some other ones like the Federal Scholarship Board. You can also reach out to them. So, but for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you need to submit a separate application to the university. So, and they don't know you. So you need to submit a good application for admission. So, and after that, they look at your application, and since the school is one of those schools that subscribe to Commonwealth that year, they can consider your application and consider you for the scholarship. Yeah. So it's very important.
One more thing. So like I know like the laws are pretty changing, like for UK what's it called, student coming in like next fall. But I think for Commonwealth scholars, you don't need to worry. You can always come in with your dependents, and I think there's even stipends for your kids and whatnot if you have a child coming in. So like it doesn't really apply to you. So like I mean, you're a Commonwealth scholar, big baby, basically.
Commonwealth scholar for life.
Yeah, I think they give allowance to child and spouse.
Yeah.
For PhD.
Yeah, for PhD, true.
Yeah, so I want you guys to be up and doing, be hardworking. It's a lot of work. Yes, I will tell you, it's a lot of work. I can remember when I was writing my essays and I had to do the review.
The essays are draining, honestly. Like
morning and nights. Make sure you don't auto write, like Goshen has said, you don't write above the word limit. And they also want to test your consistency. Yeah, so because some of the questions are kind of similar.
Yes.
So it's not like
that is the trick. It's similar. And I want to see people that know what they are doing. So like you say you are doing cancer and now you say you are doing HIV. Off target.
So please, you want to take note of all those things and make sure you have a list of schools you're looking at. You have to plan first. Okay, so what are the criteria? What am I looking at to choose schools? For me, like I said, application fee, any school requesting for that, it's off my list. No. Then the cost, my research interest. Then another thing I was looking at was the slots. You want to pick schools with a higher number of slots, like 7. You don't want to have 1, and you're like, because a lot of people are also competing for the same position. You get, so you want to put yourself at that advantage where you have the opportunity to maybe be given a chance, something like that. So so we are going to the question and answer session, and I have scholars here that can answer you. Yes, Emmanuel is off. He needs to attend to something. And I don't know if Benjamin is on this call. Yeah, but then we have scholars that are available on this platform. I have Mayokun Oke. I have Ezekiel Irewole.
Scholars. My bosses.
Yeah, so a lot. Miriam is also on this call. Goshen is on this call. Okay. It's plenty. So we have a lot of people who are ready to answer your questions. Yeah.
Do you want to start taking questions from the chat, like upstream the chat?
Upstream?
There are some questions like in the chat when some of the speakers were speaking.
Yeah.
So maybe you could just read those ones and then get people that wants to ask their question verbally on the mute and ask. Then
yeah, one more thing, this session is live on YouTube. So if you want to go back to the video, you can watch on my YouTube channel, Messi Ojetunde. And we have a question. Let me just quickly make sure that we address the question that was asked on YouTube. Said, must the referees on your CV be the same as the recommender you use for your scholarship application? So must it be the same? Do anyone want to answer the question? And Mayor, do you want to answer the question? Since you are the
chief scholar.
Hi.
Hi, Mayor. Okay, Miriam, do you want to go?
Oh, is the question directed to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, Miriam, answer the question, please.
So what's the question? Sorry.
Yeah, so must the referees on your CV be the same as the recommender you use for school application?
It's not really,
Like,
but I think it's very advisable since they are saying, okay, they are the one who is available to give a recommendation about it. So it's just like logical using the same people.
yeah, so you can use the same people. You can use, most times you don't even need to like put the referees on your CV. You can just say, what is that word that they always put? Maybe when requested or something. I know there is a word we use for the CV thing. So you may not need to put the referees on your CV. You can put it, but it does not need to like, it's not necessarily that you have the same person recommending you for school applications. Do you understand? So most times what I do is that you tell a lot of people, because you'll be submitting a lot of application. You don't want to disturb them too much. Yeah, even though I had someone that told me that, Messi, don't feel you're disturbing me. I was like, oh, this is good. One of my mentors said, don't feel you're disturbing me. Don't worry. I'll write to come as many schools as you want submit. Yeah, so we can have people like that who are willing to always, help. Yeah. I know someone, which other question? I know someone, yeah, I think, what?
In the chat, someone asks, is Erasmus open? I don't know if Benjamin is
Erasmus, I think it is open. I'm not sure of that information, but we can always check that online. You can always check for that. Then I will also direct this question to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, are you on the call? If a school says GRE is optional, you may need to submit do you need to like submit a GRE score? What do you think? Hi, Ezekiel. Ezekiel on this call?
Ezekiel.
Okay. Goshen, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, could you take the question again? Sorry, I was distracted.
If a school says GRE is optional, do you need to submit a GRE score?
So it depends on if your GRE score is good. I would say yes. So submit it to displace other applicants. But like if your GRE score like is not like something like you want to put forth out there, then don't submit it. Or if your GRE score is really good and you feel like okay, yeah, you stand like a chance, because basically, so like if there are two candidates and two candidates have the best SOP, the best research statement, the best everything, the best recommendation, it may be that GRE that will displace that candidate and take that position. So if you have a very good GRE and you're proud of it, yeah, put it.
Yeah. So if you have a good GRE score, yes, put it there, please. So we have Goshen, do you want to read?
Yeah.
So what? Okay, someone is asking, what if you are trying to apply to a different field than your undergrad studies? you'll be required to return to your own country. Oh, okay, these two different questions. Okay, what if you're trying to apply to a different field than your undergrad studies? Okay, maybe yeah, the person is interested in something new. What do you think about like applying, for another course or something, maybe for a master's or PhD? Then are you required to return to your own country after CSE?
Miriam, do you want to take that, or do we have like other scholars in the call who want to take that?
I don't know if Ezekiel, are you on this call? Okay, so Ezekiel, are you there?
I can always take the question if like Ezekiel is not on the call yet. Could you read the question again? Let me take it. It's fine.
Okay. The person is trying to ask. Okay, Ezekiel is on this call. Okay, Ezekiel, okay. Can you answer the question?
Oh, he's not allowed to unmute.
Oh, okay. Ezekiel. Why is it not allowed?
Check that.
Okay, should be able to talk now.
Yeah. Can you try unmuting?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you. My microphone has been granted access now. Hey, everyone. Hi.
Hello.
First, thank you so much for doing this, for creating an opportunity for people to learn. Let me just go straight to the question. The question is, what if you want to switch your field, I guess? If you are trying to apply to a different field than your undergraduate studies, that is not a problem. In fact, that is something I did. My BSc was in zoology, and I am currently doing my PhD in neuroscience. So that was a complete switch. I call that a leap of faith because I had no idea what's going on in neuroscience, but yet I got in. And how did that happen? Say switching fields is not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker if you can link your previous study to your proposed study. That's the first thing. If you can link it, even if you cannot link it, it's not the end of the world. You just need to be able to demonstrate what ignited your passion for the new field you are proposing to go into. In my own case, I specialized in genetics, and in one of my classes, I got to know about neurogenetic diseases. And as the lecturer was teaching, I got really interested, and I was like, this is something I'm going to further on. And during my application, I mentioned that yes, I had a BSc in zoology and I specialized in genetics. I told them the story of how I got interested in neurogenetics and how I need to get my PhD in neuroscience to be able to tackle neurodegenerative diseases. In fact, it was even neurogenetic diseases, but along the way, I switched to neurodegenerative diseases. They sound similar, but they are slightly different. That was how I made my way into neuroscience. And it did not just stop there. I took some courses on neuroscience on Udemy. And then I was able to clearly demonstrate my passion for neuroscience. There was a time, I think 2 weeks ago, I was talking with my peer, maybe more than 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. I asked him, so what made you interested in accepting me into your lab? Then he mentioned specifically my SOP. He told him that I wrote very well and he got interested. And when he spoke to me during the interview, I was able to convince him why I wanted to move on from zoology to neuroscience. So if you are switching field, it's fine. And if you are switching to a completely different area, say you studied law, all right, and then now you want to do a PhD in sociology or PhD in fine art or something else, as long as you can clearly demonstrate the reason why you want that proposed field of study, you should be good. So don't be limited by your background, please. They said you don't allow your background to put your back on the ground. Continue to tour higher to where you're going to. All right, so that's the answer to the question.
Thank you so much. So CSC scholars, are you required to go back to your home country?
Do you want that, or you want me to take that?
Anyway,
I can take that. It's fine. But if Miriam wants to take that, so she can also. Miriam, do you want to take that? my boss.
Okay, this is true.
May
No, I
my
think
boss?
like um people have different answers about that. So one thing is what do you want to do with this that time thing. So I think the rule is that you should go back. But even there is a clause like okay, going on to take further studies, like you want to do your PhD, you want to do this, or you want to do something. They are not like I don't think they like force you that you should. So the only thing is just because okay, I think because the CS is sponsoring you cannot apply for the post-study visa. But if you have any other visa that can allow you stay, you can stay.
Yeah, true.
Aside the post-study option.
What is on the CSE website is you have to return back to your own
Oh,
country.
so basically, yeah.
Like it's just like for you to fulfill the aim
Yeah.
of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like the aim is just for you to like make your country better. So they believe
Yeah.
that you
Mm.
should go back. You are able
You have
to
said it
contribute.
you've said it in your essay that I want to go and I'm going back to my alma mater
Yeah,
to
we need to
study.
clear
The way
everything.
you think like you are the best student until you get to class, then you understand what is going on.
One thing I love about CSE is that CSE will not dim your shine, honestly. If like you truthfully, like you feel like okay, you want to advance your career, or like you say for after your master's, to be honest, after your master's, like you get quite a number of skill sets as a scientist, but like it's still not really enough, to do some type of research that you would like to do even anywhere in the world. So it's still not enough. So it's quite justifiable if you feel like you need to get some more skills, and so they won't dim your shine in that area.
Thank you so much. So what is the ideal number of pages for a CV? Ezekiel, do you want to say something?
Yes. So there is no.
Hi, Ezekiel.
Debate.
Let them know the difference between CV and resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and that was even the first question I wanted to ask. Like, are you referring to academic CV? Because if you are referring to academic, and I assume that you are referring to academic CV because of the context of this meeting.
Yes.
There is no there is no limit when it comes to academic CV. There is no limit. You can have a CV as much as 120 pages. All right. But the thing is, if you're applying for grad school, your focus should not be on the length of the CV, but the content and the quality of the things you've done. So do not just focus on the length. Okay, mine was like 3 pages, but I also had to remove some things, and it was 3 pages because I was involved in a lot of volunteering and leadership positions, as well as teaching positions. So I included my teaching experience, my research experience, leadership, volunteering. So it was quite long, but that was because of the things I had done. If you had not gathered much experience over the years, it still doesn't matter. The ones you were able to gather, expatiate on the bullet points, the descriptions. And fine-tune your CV to match the school. That is another mistake people do. They have one CV and then they use that to apply to different schools. It doesn't work that way. All right. Somewhere at the first 2 or 3 paragraphs of your CV, try to include your research interest and the kinds of projects you're interested in. Or it's an academic CV, and that will change based on, or depending on the program you're applying to. So for the length, there's no length restriction, but make sure the quality is okay. Get someone to check it for you, and then you should be fine.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ezekiel. Yeah, so like concerning the CV thing again, you don't want to write you're applying for a PhD, let's say in biochemistry. You don't want to put in your academic CV the jobs you've done. Yes, I know the economic situation in Nigeria is not so good right now. Like it's not palatable. You just you don't want to include, yes, a lot of people are surviving, trying to survive. They get jobs that are, paying them. Maybe you're working in the bank, or you're the cashier somewhere, or you have a business. You don't want to add that to your academic CV and say, oh, I'm the project manager of a beans and garlic company or something. You want to write something really like what Ezekiel said. You want to write something, you want to write your CV in a very good way that suits your application. Yeah. And there is no limit. It's a CV. If it's a resume, except stated otherwise. Some schools say, oh, 2 pages, not less than this, but I don't know, it's rare for me. Yeah, but yeah, Miriam, do you have something to say? Miriam's hand is raised. Miriam.
Hi.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I wanted to add was like, so during my application is like, there was one school I actually applied to, and they specifically mentioned that the CV should not be more than 2 pages. So
Yeah.
it's still all boys are like reading the instruction,
Yeah.
what do they want to do?
Yeah. Except stated
But
otherwise.
it may be like maximum, your CV should not be more than 3 pages. Like I just going from your DSC or university. What are you really writing extensively?
Okay. Someone is asking, can I apply for Commonwealth scholarship as a final year undergrad? Goshen, do you want to go?
Yeah. So, provided you have your transcript, so like that is the only limitation. So you have to have your transcript turned in at the very last part of the portal when you're turning in your application. So, well, like if say you're in your final semester, if you're in your first year, sorry, your first semester, I don't think you can, sadly.
Yeah.
If you're in your second semester, if I don't know, like you could give it a shot, but I feel like they would it could affect the way your application is treated, honestly, because the transcripts are needed.
Yes.
It's like a document that states that okay, you've taken these courses, you're fit to go to this university and whatnot. So yeah, so I would say like you could, if you're in your second semester, you could just try, just have a feel of what it looks like. But I think it would affect your application.
Yeah. So Abib has Andy's raised. He asked the question here in the chat, said, how can I get to know the information on how many slots the institutions have? Yeah, it's actually on the Commonwealth website. That's why it's very important that you go through the website for all the information you need is actually on the website.
I'm gonna try pull out the web page for them and put it on the chat box.
Yes, please put that on the chat box. Abib, do you still want to say something? Your hand is raised. Do you want to say something? Hi, Abib. Are you still there?
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, please stop.
Oh, thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to ask about the Commonwealth scholarship. You were talking about getting to know the number of slots each university has so as to, analyze your chances of being nominated. So I want to ask, how do you get to know this information, or where do you find them? Is it on the university page or where? Thank you.
Yeah, it's actually Goshen is trying to put something in the chat box, but it's actually on the Commonwealth website. When you go to the Commonwealth share, that's why it's very important that you are what's the word right now? Like you take your time, take your time to look at the information, take your time, don't be in a rush. Do you understand? When going through the website, a lot of people have reached out to me, oh, how do I do that? I said, everything is on this website. Just be calm.
So when you go to the web page, you check the partner universities. From that particular part, you would see like you would say, okay, 5, 2, 3, 9 slots and stuff like that. So that's how you basically.
Yeah.
So
someone is
on the chat box.
Okay. So
all right, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Someone is saying there's a lot about full funding of science inclined fields. How about other fields like say law? What are the chances that funding is secured for that area? Goshen, do you want to go for that?
Yeah. So yeah, I know it's quite true that like there are a lot of funding for science courses, but nevertheless, there are still quite a number of funding for non-STEM courses.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot. So if you're talking about PhDs, there are, and like people. So if you check, like if you like previous speakers have said, like Google is your best friend. So like just input keywords on Google, like PhD, scholarship, blah blah blah, law, whatever research. You would see like a lot of it given by Google. Also, like there are quite a number of people that post like school-specific openings for non-STEM PhD, MSc research in the US. On Twitter, on LinkedIn, you can follow Messi. Messi does repost some of all these tweets or posts on LinkedIn. So you can also follow her because a lot of scholars who have done a PhD or master's in this field constantly repost like openings or positions that are available. So once you follow some of all these people, you'll get abreast of like what is happening. So, but I know that there are fundings, there are opportunities for non-STEM courses, including law. So it's just about you following the right people to getting like notified when these opportunities arises, as the case may be. But they are really. And if you are looking at if you are not looking at the direct PhD, for instance, or even if you are looking at a PhD, you can also explore Commonwealth scholarship. So so you may not have like a PhD in law per se. So that is another I think that is another challenge that some students face. So for instance, I did BSc biochemistry, and I think Miriam also did BSc biochemistry as an undergrad degree. So some people in Nigeria, they feel like if I want to get a master, it must be MSc biochemistry. You may not really see. I don't think you would see MSc biochemistry in UK, for instance. So, but then when you do introspection on the courses that you took, like in your undergrad, you see like there are some specific courses or modules that you took in your undergrad that are course titles or master title program in the UK. Yeah. For example, I took like a genetic biotechnology course in my undergrad in my biochemistry program. Now I did a master's in MSc biotechnology. So like, so it brings me to the point that you have to now don't like be driven that it must be a master's in law or it must be a PhD in law. So it can be like a specific niche in law that you would see like available on a school website for a research position or for a PhD position. And this is one of the limiting factors for a lot of people back home in Nigeria. They don't know that some of all these courses in Grad, for example, biotechnology, English, you may not get them as it is like in the UK. So you may see something like digital literacy. You could still like relate it to communications and English language that we have like in Nigeria. And you may not like see like mass communications, for instance. So I would say like go back to your do a kind of introspection on the courses that you took like in your undergrad and find the research interest, and also like explore some of all these school pages to see like if there's any research interest that fits into it.
Thank you very much, Kishan, for that. So also, I'm saying some questions. I will just quickly say something about it. Yeah, it's not important that you have a publication before you submit an application. Again, I have some friends who did not like have any publication when they were applying and they got in. The most important thing is that you have a strong desire for research. Think research. I tell people, think research when you're doing grad school application. Then also you want to show that you're like what Ezekiel said, like you want to show that you are really interested in it. He took some courses in Udemy. You can take some courses on Coursera and all that, that show that, oh, I am really interested in this thing and I'm doing something relevant in that field. So it's very important that you do all those things, engage in activities, volunteering, take leadership positions, because some of the scholarships are heavy on volunteering, are heavy on, like what Benjamin said. He said, or maybe it was Goshen that mentioned that. Yeah, it was Goshen that mentioned that somebody wants to invest 40,000 pounds on you, and and you have not even done anything for somebody. It's just like what we know, what you do, we definitely like get back to you. Do you understand? That's why you have to do good so that others can do good, to you. So you're doing that selfless service. You're helping the needy. You're doing this. You're sensitizing people. You're giving the information. Definitely good news will come back to you. So that is the way it works. So just have that at the back of your mind that, oh, okay, this is the way it works. Then I have to volunteer so that someone can invest so much on me. So something like that. So publication, you may not, it's good to work towards having a publication, but if you don't, you also have there are other strengths, there are other areas that you can strengthen to make sure that you get, a spot, in grad
People
school.
would say it's a holistic process. It's not just one criteria.
Yeah.
So many criteria.
How do I describe my intent plans for study for grad school applications? Yeah, you have to describe it somehow. Like, what do you want to do? We can't think for you. You have to think about it. Okay, what are my plans? Do I want to go for a PhD after this? Do I want to do a research in this area and all that? So all those things, you think about it and put words together to describe your intentions. Yeah. So can you see apply to the schools we choose online after the deadline? Well, it's very important that you look at the schools, requirements, the deadlines and all that, and also look at Commonwealth application deadline. Yeah, you don't need to submit an application to the university, even though it's recommended that you submit an application to university for the Commonwealth shared application. You submit that application first, because at that time you're giving them time to review your application, because you already know that they subscribe to Commonwealth, for that particular year. So you're giving them time to read through your application. So it's very good to apply, for the to those schools first. It does not take so much time. Applications in the UK don't really stress that much, so just apply, prepare your documents, submit a very good application, then you can now move to Commonwealth. So how do you know professors that have funding? Ezekiel, do you want to answer that? Ezekiel on this call.
Hi.
Yes,
Right.
I'm on this call.
Oh, it's on. That man looks like Joey.
Okay, so Ezekiel.
How do you know professors that have funding? Well, that's a good question. Are you talking about the United States specifically, or do you mean generally? Because if you mean generally, the way to know if they have funding is to, one, easiest thing, check them out on Twitter. Some of these professors, when they have funding, they make announcements on Twitter. Or if they have a lab webpage, check their lab webpage, check their research, check their current funding. Some of them post that on their lab webpage. The second way to know, or the third way rather to know, is to ask them directly. Reach out to them, tell them what you are interested in, tell them the research you want to do and how it fits into their lab, ask for a Zoom meeting, then during the meeting, discuss with them, then talk about funding. Okay. However, some schools in the United States don't require you to secure a supervisor, so you don't need to reach out to them directly. All you need to do is apply to the school, and once you get into the school, you do something called a lab rotation, and this is specific to science students, I guess. You do a lab rotation. For those that are non-science, I think once you get in, then you can meet with current PIs and then discuss with them and choose one of them. So that's when you can also know if they are funding or not. I hope I have answered that question well.
Yes, thank you so much. That was concise. Miriam, so I'll throw this question to you. Can your undergraduate progress, we are all making progress. Can your undergraduate project suffice as a research experience? Miriam, do you want to answer that?
Miriam, you're muted.
Miriam,
she's muted.
Okay.
Hello, Miriam. Can you unmute to answer? I don't know if she can hear us.
Yeah, I think I got kind of I've been trying to unmute, but I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
I'm actually in transit. So I think the other thing I'll suggest is like, I think there's a misconception about like, some people used to think you have to like get a faculty first that is available to fund you before you can get funded for a particular school. It's like just one probability that happens, but it's like that's not always the case. So it still comes down to read the information on the program website. So just for my school, for example, like I didn't have to reach out to any professor before even getting to the school that, okay, I want your research and for. You just do in some cases, depending on the school now, is you check the information and some school tells you, okay, all students are admitted to this program are funded. Then that means the application is now more competitive because they have to like fund everybody that takes in. So in that case, you don't have to like reach out to a faculty member first to ask them if they will be funded or not. The program takes care of that. I don't know if that answered the question, sort of.
Yeah, so your undergrad research experience applies, yeah. So thank you for that. So you can always add your undergrad, research experience as one of those experiences you've had. Yeah. And somebody is raising their hand. We have a
That's Mayo. Mayo the boss.
Mayor wants to talk.
You're the boss, yeah. Mayo, please unmute, sir.
He's the co-host, so you should be able to unmute.
I feel like I'm taking all questions of this.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, and I think just piggybacking on what Miriam said, that's a great answer. And some of the things Ezekiel said, sometimes when you hear some questions and you think about them in the context of what everybody has said, sometimes you have those answers. Like you want to make sure you are a good candidate. So the very best thing, again, keying back into what Ezekiel said, your undergrad research could help. That definitely helped me. I did the research in my undergrad on biofuel, and I wanted to like advance and do more research on biofuel. So that's literally what got me the offer I got. I built on what I had done in my undergrad, and I sold that as an idea to be able to get the funding I got from my master's program. So there could be some of that, but it's about looking at what the school you want to go into is, what the professor is working on, and then asking yourself the question, how can I best present myself to be the candidate that this person would want to take in? And there could be so many answers to that. It's either courses you've taken on Coursera. It could be your undergrad research, like it happened for me, or it could be a host of other things that you combine together to make yourself the perfect picture of a person that you are wanting in that particular program. So that's how I would take it. Like take nothing for granted. Bring everything to the table. Look at all that you have and design something that again makes you a perfect candidate for that role.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Do we have questions on YouTube?
Yeah, so like, there's one I saw. I don't know if it has been answered. So the person said that, do you believe one would have better chances applying to a school with application fee, as more people may opt for the ones without application fees? I don't know if you, I think the person is trying to like get an idea if you apply regardless to a school that requires an application fee. So I know that there's some schools that would not waive the application fee, maybe. So I think the idea is, so if you apply to those schools regardless, does it increases your chances as like a lot of people would run away from such schools to schools that would naturally offer waivers? I don't know if it makes sense. Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
So basically the person is like, okay, we know that we need to pay application fee, right? So the person is like, okay, there are some schools that will not waive. They would say you have to pay. So the person is like, if I apply to those schools, does it increase my chances of getting in? Because we know that a lot of people do not apply there because they are not willing to waive.
Yeah.
I
don't know if anyone wants to. Ezekiel, do you want to respond to that?
Okay. Yeah, I get the question. And a follow-up question would be, do you know what the application fee is for if you know what the application is for, then you understand that applying to schools with application fee waiver is not a disadvantage per se. I believe the application fee waiver is more like an administrative processing fee, usually engaged by the admission committee to do all the processing, because they have series of meetings, and during those meetings they have to cater to the welfare of all the people, the committee members. So I believe the application fee is actually to cater for the application process itself. Now, if there is an application fee waiver, it means that there's a chance more people will apply than usual. That does not mean that your application will not be considered. It just means that you have to strengthen your profile more. Whichever the case may be, the school already has a set number of people they want to admit. So if a program, say law, for instance, wants to admit just 25 students that year, or say just 10 students that year, irrespective of the number of students that apply, they are going to take just 10. So your focus should not be on, should I apply to this school with application for waiver or not? Your focus should be on, how can I strengthen my profile to make me a competitive candidate? How can I make it such that this school will be willing to admit me? How do I rank among the first 10, the first 20 people that will be applying? All right. So yeah, when there's application fee waiver, much competition and all that, but it's still the same thing. Even if you apply to schools with application fee waiver, there's still competition, and there is no assurance. There's no 100% assurance that they are going to select you, which is why you also need to like cast your net wide. That's my own philosophy. Some people prefer to apply to just 2 or 3 schools, and that's fine. But I believe in casting your net wide because of competitions. I just, from my own practical experience, I applied to 10 schools, I guess. Maybe nine schools in the US, 1 in the UK. All the 9 schools I applied to in the US during my time, I did not pay any application fee. I was actively hunting for application fee waivers.
Yeah.
Because partly because I did not have money. That is the truth. And 2, I was not interested in paying for application fee when I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure if the school was going to take me in the first place. So yeah, and I also add that was during COVID season. There were lots of application fee waivers flying here and then. There are still application fee waivers now, but I was actively hunting for them then, and I did not pay any application fee. I'm currently at West Virginia University. I applied with application fee waiver that I got in one WhatsApp group. I did not even request it from the website. I saw it in one WhatsApp group, and that was it. So yeah, don't let the application fee be a discouragement. If you have the money, pay for it. If you don't, get the waiver, strengthen your profile, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. That is very detailed. Yeah, so I have some other questions. So we are going to like run through the questions because we don't have time again. So for the Commonwealth scholarship, do I have to wait till I gain admission? No, you don't have to wait till you gain admission before applying for the scholarship. Yeah, you apply to the school, then trade up to the application. Do you believe, we've answered that question, application fee thing. So I will advise that you also keep on to, except you have the money anyways. If you don't have the money out for application fee waiver. To apply to the Commonwealth thing, must I gain admission to you don't need to have gained admission to the university before you apply for the scholarship. So because I saw this on it, you don't need to. Well, okay, if Ministry of Education, well, if that is their requirement, then maybe you should have gotten an admission from them. So that's why it's good to like submit to the schools first. Yes, Cameroon, type something in the chat. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. That's outline is okay. Yeah, you can follow that and then you apply for the scholarship. The last year, what can I do in order to submit a strong application since research experience is more important? Yeah, your undergrad research will suffice. Also, I advise people take internship positions, go to research institutions where you can garner research experiences. You can also take some courses online, that can help, with that, relevant courses online, not just any course. So yeah, that would do. You don't need to have a robust, they're not expecting you to have so much knowledge about research, but you have to show that you're interested, because that is what keeps you going in grad school. Grad school is a lot of work. So it's the motivation that just keep you going, that no, I must do this. No, this is what I want to do. And it keeps pushing you. So you don't need to also wait for service. You can start applying for Commonwealth scholarship while you're serving. You don't need to
For
wait
my
till
service.
yeah, Goshen. I have somebody who also like applied. He had to even leave. He was already serving when he had to leave for the UK, and they understood that, you don't need to like wait till you finish everything. It's dream really we're talking about. You don't want to sleep on it, on opportunities. So just go for it. Yes, so practical experiences, okay. Ezekiel said he wants to say something about the non-science funding. Ezekiel, do you want to? Yeah, because I know we have people who are not in the sciences. So do you want to go? Ezekiel still on this call? Okay. Which other application do we have here? Code emailing. I have a question on code emailing aspects. PR are not always, yes, they will not always most of them will respond. So you have to just keep sending emails. Mayor, are you on this call? Do you have a reason why some of these people don't respond? Mayor, do you want to say something? Is Mayor on the call?
Yeah, he said it's a common problem that you keep trying and work to send more emails. So yeah,
He's Mayor is on the call, and I guess it's like Goshen said. I was already trying to like reply to the person in the chat since you cannot get everyone. But the thing is, it's a problem. Definitely, you have to keep trying. Some of them will reply, some of them will not. And one of the things I like to say is, if you only have a 10% chance of success and you message 9 people, you don't, and one that's not responded, is because you probably need to message 10 to get one to respond. If you message 20, 2 will respond. So it's about that. The more you message, the more the chances are that somebody would respond. So one of the ways to increase that is improve on the number of people you're sending it to. One of the things that I did personally is I also try to send catchy emails. I send emails with interesting titles such that I can increase or guarantee the fact that the professor would at least open it. And then he might now not choose to respond. But it won't be about the fact that I did not open my email. And for many of the emails that I sent, I definitely got responses. I had interesting conversations with some professors that I never followed up with. So there's that. It's about try to like send better crafted emails, work on your title, make it something somebody would want to open as something of value, to try to know you, to be intrigued by you, or just send more. So it's one of both or both. Yeah.
I'll just add one thing. So to what my boss has said. So like when I was applying for grad school, like I didn't want to send a lot of emails. So I had people saying that they sent 500 emails. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. So I sent just a few mails and I did get responses from practically everything. So what Mayor said about catchy email is very true. I can remember like just the title of my mail of one of my co-supervisors in my school was, "Can you be my PhD supervisor?" That was just the title. So I added, "Can you be my PhD supervisor?" Like, and I put question mark and I stated my interest and everything. And till date, like we've had like close to like 100 correspondences on that mail. Like he's been following me up all through my academic journey, right from Commonwealth, right from my application for my visa in Nigeria to my journey in the UK till my transition process, basically. So catchy emails is very, very key in getting responses from professors, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll be running off the session now. Okay, so let me let this person speak. Chisom, then we now take Ezekiel. Ezekiel wants to say something about the non-science funding. So Chisom, can you talk? Go ahead to speak. Also, you don't need the IELTS or the TOEFL for your scholarship application. You don't need it for your Commonwealth and all that, except stated by the school that you need to submit an English test. Yeah. So that is why it's very important that you read the requirements. Yeah. So Chisom, do you want to say something? Your hand is raised.
Okay, good evening. Good evening,
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask, in a situation whereby you graduated from agricultural economics and you want to use someone from electrical engineering, to write your recommendation letter for you, would that be accepted?
Okay, who wants to answer that? Mayor, do you want to say something? Since it's in the engineering field.
Or Ezekiel, any of them can take that.
You can take it. Ezekiel.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can answer that question. The recommender does not have to be someone in your department per se. The focus is not on where they are working or where their area of research is. The focus is on how do they know you and what can they say about you. The essence of recommendation is to attest to your character. Each school, every school that wants to admit any student, they want to be sure that this person that is coming into the school has a good reputation and they know what they are really going in for. So it doesn't matter if you are applying for one program and then your recommender is from another program. One good thing that I would like to say here is that you should, however, ensure that one of those recommenders is your direct PI, the person that supervised your undergraduate work, because that was the closest person to you academically during your undergrad. So that person, whatever that person has to say about you carries a lot of weight. And another thing I tell people, especially for those in Nigeria, is when you are asking people for recommendation, don't just ask them and let them submit it by themselves just like that, because most of these people are very busy and writing recommendation takes a lot of brain power. I can tell you that. I've written two and I can tell you it takes a lot of brain power. It's as if you are writing a paper because you have to think and synergize ideas and all that. So what I tell people here is this: write your own recommendation letter draft. Talk to your potential recommenders, tell them this is your plan. You want to apply to grad school, you are thinking of applying to 20 schools and these programs. You understand that they are very busy and writing recommendation for each of those schools will take some time. To facilitate the process, you have written a recommendation draft and then you are willing to send that to them. So send the draft, send your CV. Let the draft be very well written. I can tell you that is the thing they will edit and submit. So you are in charge of your own recommendation, and that is the secret. Some people do not know this. That is how it works, honestly. If you want a very good recommendation, write it yourself, send it to them, let them work on it. And then don't send the same draft. Of course, that will not be good. Don't send the same draft to 3 different people. All right, that's very, very bad. All right, so your draft has to be very different, like 4 different drafts, but each of them addressing why you are a very good candidate for that program. And then when all of them submit all those 4 things, trust me, you're very, very good to go. All right. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Cameroon, yeah, speak. Your hand, you have your hand raised. Can you speak?
Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, can you make it fast?
Yeah, I'm sorry for the delay. I want to thank you so much for the insightful section. I've gained just a lot, but I have one question that is not answered. I'm interested on Commonwealth scholarship. I applied for Commonwealth distance scholarship. I got on an unconditional offer in University of Birmingham, but I wasn't offered the Commonwealth scholarship. So I wanted to know, is it possible to reserve your spot and apply now, like for the applications that are going on using the same university?
Yeah, so I'll take that. Yeah, I can take that. So if yeah, I know it's possible to defer your spot for admission. Yeah, that is with the university. Like you applied for XYZ program with the university. It's possible you can defer that. So on applying for, so if currently the application is open now, if like the same university is sponsoring the same program, XYZ, that is fine. And the university is happy to keep your the SOP and the packages that you submitted for admission for the previous year is fine. You can always use the same package. So
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, we will not be able to like answer all the questions. I know you guys have a lot of questions. You can always, drop it in the
on the YouTube channel and maybe
on the YouTube channel. Yeah,
Mm.
we'll address it when we see it. Yeah, even though it's a lot of work for us right now. We are busy as grad school students, but then we're gonna take out some time to like respond to that. That's why it's very important that you also go back to the YouTube to watch all that's has been said and everything. I know some persons had issues with network and all that, glitching networks. Yeah, so you can always go back to the YouTube channel. Every information is being made available there. Yeah. So yes, so we'll be ending the session soon. I think I have some airtime left. So if you want to let's quickly go through that. So okay, so Glow users, are you here? If we have Glow users, you can just want to be fast with this. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be playing some music. Let's do this. Let me see. Oh no. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really an informative session.
So how do I minimize this? So Glow users, I don't know if we have Glow users in the house, but you just want to use this.
Giveaways. Is this for your birthday or
Birthday, everything. So do we have anyone who have gotten that? I don't know why I'm not able to.
Yeah, nobody like if you've gotten it, just put it in the chat that you got
just
that.
put it in the chat, please.
Yeah, so we know and
Thank you, Ezekiel, for that. No, I don't think we have people who are using Glue. Anyways, maybe I'll just send and do my giveaway on my WhatsApp.
Yeah. You could give us on WhatsApp. I will try.
Yeah, so
I'm being nice, I still have my name.
But I just want to be sure that nobody has used it.
Right.
And now they use Glow. Put the use this now.
Right.
So who have gotten the Glow?
Yeah, if you've gotten the I think someone has gotten
What about the second one? I just want to know to show that
Lani says you got the second one.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure so I don't put false thing out.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll just stop at the second one. I think I have the third one. Okay, so let me just make and this the end. Third one. Next one.
You can do for people that have international numbers to WhatsApp status.
Okay, the third one, going. So yeah, vote of thanks. I want to say thank you to everyone who has spoken. Yeah, it's been a wonderful session. Thanks to Benjamin. A lot of them, like most of my speakers had, other engagements, but they make sure that they are available for this session and, give out the information necessary for winning scholarships, So I'm so grateful to Benjamin, Joshua. I'm also thankful to Emmanuel Oluwarotimi. He has also done a very good job, by being detailed in his presentation. Also, I want to say thank you to Miriam Lawal. She is in Penn State University, and she has also done a very good job. So it's now up to you guys to take this information that you have heard to your advantage by doing so much work, doing your own work. It's very, very important. Yeah. So do your own work, prepare everything you need to prepare for your application, and submit a good application. And I'm sure you're close to winning. Yeah. So also want to say thank you to Goshen. Goshen has been an amazing person, right from the one. Yeah, thank you for moderating this session. And also thank you for that wonderful presentation. I know it was a lot. Yeah, he actually had a lot on his slide. So if you want to if you want to make sure that, if you want to like have an outline of what he has written, or you want to write something down, I know he was trying to rush through it, you can go back to the YouTube channel. You can pause, play. Yeah, because some of them would not be able to respond almost immediately to your messages on LinkedIn or other social media platforms. Yeah, so I also want to say thank you to Mayor. Mayor has been an amazing person. Yes, the backbone.
Backbone.
Yes, so he
The
has been
backbone on the background.
right, trying to come up with a theme for this event and all that, suggestions and everything. So it has actually been so amazing. Thank you for responding to this call. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the question and answer session too. And it was also like helping with the YouTube channel, trying to make sure that put the questions here on Zoom so that we can address it. So you're so amazing. You're doing so well. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to Ezekiel. Ezekiel has also been a wonderful person, like an amazing friend. Thank you, Ezekiel, for your help, for your support. Thank you for all that you do also in the community. Thank you for helping out, in the question and answer session too. And we look forward to like having you on this call, in subsequent time. So we appreciate everyone. Also, I want to say thank you to the listeners. I know we had over 100 people who joined at first. And, even before we started the meeting, a lot of people were in the waiting room. Like, it was so, that shows that you're intentional, you just want to do something for yourself, and that's a good sign. That's the way to go, actually. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to the listeners. Thank you for those that will also be going back to the YouTube channel to watch again. Thank you for, it's really been an amazing session. No one was interrupting, no one. It was like, it's so calm and everything. I'm so grateful for that, you guys. Thank you for your cooperation. Let me say that. And cooperation was just so massive. Like, that's good. Yeah, so I wish you guys the very best. I know I have some final words. I'm sorry, let me stop sharing this and I'll share again. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So final words, start early. You can do it. Don't say that, oh, I finished with a 2-2, or I finished with a 2-1. Some scholarships they will say is grade centric. If you don't have a first class, you cannot apply, blah, blah, blah. But then don't give up on your dreams. You have to keep working hard. The scholarships application thing is like, it's not like you apply and get it. Yes, we have some people who applied and got it. Like for me, when I got this Commonwealth Scholarship, that was my first time of applying. And I did not apply to, so I think I applied to just 3 schools. So, but we've had our rejections, times. Yes, before Commonwealth, I've applied to some other schools and I got rejected. But then I did not give up. I kept on applying and applying until I got, a scholarship. So you have to you can do it. You're not a mediocre in this journey. And also, I want you to know that this scholarship is not for only you. You have a lot of people who are applying for that same spot. So you want to put yourself at that competitive advantage. So you have to keep working hard as others are doing so that you can get in. So do it yourself. Actually, do it yourself. You can do it yourself. It's just all about being focused and staying true to your dreams. Go online, do your research, write your essays. If you have people who can review, good. If you don't, you can always review yourself. So your dreams are valid. I always tell people that, yes, your dreams are valid, but then you have to work very hard to, fulfillment. Yeah. So I wish you guys the very best. You guys can unmute and say something if you want to say. I don't know why this Zoom is not allowing you guys to unmute, but if you want to unmute your mic, you can unmute and say something, final words. But then I want to say thank you to everyone. So you can unmute and just say something. And then thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate.
Thank you. We appreciate this session.
Yeah. So you can unmute your mics. Makinde, your hand is raised. You can unmute and say something, and then we are going to end the session.
My last word: a creative mind is a fertile land for growth. I got that. That is not my phrase though. I stole that from someone. So just so you know. Yeah. But yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this session, and special shout out to my guys, Ezekiel and Mayokon.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was really a great session. It has been something I've always wanted to do. It's just like I got what I needed at the right time. Thank you so much, Messi, for Day. I really enjoyed the whole session, especially all the things said by Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel's period was really, really helping. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Messi and the crew. You did a great job. It's not easy to dedicate your time to people. Thank you so much. I caught a few things there that I will be running with. Hopefully, we'll join the we'll be the bearer of this the next touch soon, helping other people too. Yeah, thank you so much. God bless you.
Yes. So yes, you guys can talk. Final words. Goshen, Mayor, to say, Goshen, can you unmute?
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much for this session. It was I learned personally while sitting and moderating. It was really, really insightful.
Ezekiel,
I look forward to more of this. Yeah.
Yeah, Ezekiel, do you want to say something?
I want to say thank you, honestly, for organizing this. This is going to help a lot of people, both now and in the nearest future. People that will still go back and watch the video. So thank you for doing this. I know how busy you are. I know things you have to do, but yet you created this time to be of value to people. I pray God reward your labor of love and also replenish all that you've invested into this. I also would like to say thank you to everybody that came and showed up, and those who organized the event, including the moderator Goshen. You're doing a great job. You're doing fantastic. My word of encouragement to people who are applying to grad school: the process itself is tedious. The process is laborious. The process, at some point, you will feel tired. At some point, you will feel like giving up. I want to encourage you: please do not give up. Just know that it's a process, it's a journey, and there is a reward for you at the end. So try and focus on the reward. When you are faced with challenges, talk to people who have gone before you, and they can give you advice on how to surmount those challenges. Don't give up. That is what I'm trying to say in general, because that time is coming that you feel tired of everything. Please do not give up. Reach out to people for help, and then in the end, you have something to be proud of. All right. So that's it from me.
Yeah, thank you. Mayor, is Mayor on this call?
Yes, he is on this. And
Yes, yeah.
And I guess following again in Ezekiel's footsteps, you've done that to me a lot today, and I'm more than happy to do that. But
Yeah.
but again, it's been great to like have everyone on this call. I think one of the most important things you can ever get to use information, and that's what your heart was about trying to give to people today, and I'm glad everyone could get that. I'm thankful they afforded themselves the time and opportunity to come here and learn. So thank you for putting this together. Thank you to all the speakers. I'm Miriam Benjamin and Emmanuel, and for Goshen for being the synergistic one that pulled everything together, and also for a session on the Commonwealth. I definitely, when you think you know a whole lot, you hear something and then you're like, wow, I actually know nothing. So that was a very very insightful session, and I guess saying something else would be about related to what Ezekiel said at the end. I would like to continue from there. It's good to do things with people. So it's never easy to like get to do anything alone, even if you plan and your heart is set to it. So one thing you can do right after this session is tell somebody else, a friend of yours, that you can hold their hands together about what you learned in this session. Share with them the YouTube link. Let them go watch it, and probably have a buddy or a partner that you can do this with. Sometimes when you encourage yourself and you have two folks going together doing something, it's worthwhile and you are able to go longer. And you're not just able to go fast, but you also go far. So I think that will be one thing. Tell somebody else about this. Let your good friends know about what you're wanting to do. And if you guys have like minds and you can pursue this together, come together. You're stronger together. You're better together, and you can go farther together. So I wish everybody the very best. I never look down on whatever phase you are at right now. I think it's part of the story, it's part of the journey, and it's all going to be worth it in the end as long as you keep taking steps forward and you keep progressing towards a good idea. So I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. That was so good. Thank you for your
and sent me what to say.
Thank you very much. I think this is a special privilege. And, I'm happy to be around people of this caliber, if I can see. So please, I also like need links with people that are like into like anything related to like earth sciences. I'll be very, very, very glad with that. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for being supportive.
Thank you, Mercy. Now.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua.
Mercy. Thank you, Goshen, and Ezekiel, and Miriam as
Hi,
well.
hello.
Hi.
Good evening. Good evening, Mercy. Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I just joined a couple of minutes ago, so I missed a whole lot. Probably I will watch the replay. But my question is there any kind of how will I say it now? A group probably coordinated by you or some kind of other people that render, SOP review, all the scholarship application review, that we can meet up or for any kind of assistance just to check what we are doing and if we are on the right track.
Okay, so what we do is that we just people just reach out to scholars. It's not like we have a particular group of people that I know Kweriwa did something like that last time, where he created a group and then we have, scholars who help to review the SOP thing. But then I think you can always reach out to scholars and ask if they can help with that. Do you understand? So it's not like I have a group of people that help to do that, because a lot of people have their schedules, right? So you just want to ask people to help. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will end this session right now. Thank you.